Oh yeah. There it is.
Oh yeah.
There's the sweet, sweet sound of official weigh-in music. This is the sweet voice of Alexander K. Lee here, live with you guys for the UFC Fight Island 8 Chiesa versus Magny official weigh-in live stream. Thank you everyone for joining us. Also on the call here, I'm going to wait till our faces pop up. Also on the call here, we have the magnificent Jose Young. He is on site in Abu Dhabi. Say hi to the fans, Jose.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
That was hello, how are you in Spanish. And out in Inglewood, California, the equally magnificent, perhaps even slightly more magnificent E. Casey Leiden. It depends. We'll see. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say. Let's see how he performs today. We got E. Casey Leiden in the truck on the ones and twos, making sure this program goes smoothly. So thank you, everyone, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in. It is noon Eastern time over here. I know in Inglewood it is 9 p.m. The night is still young over there, and it is, I would imagine, hold on, let me do some math in my head, 9 in the morning in Abu Dhabi, Jose?
8:56, yeah.
8:56 in the morning. So he is bright and nice and shiny. Nice. You're getting nice and sunny, Jose, here, full of coffee, I hope. And yes, we are. Aaron Milner, weigh-ins are Aaron, weigh-ins are now noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. local time in Abu Dhabi. So yes, thank you for joining us, everyone. We know those numbers are going to fill up. We know a lot, but thank you for everyone who's already here, who has been waiting. Your patience is much appreciated, and we're looking forward to a great show on Wednesday and a great weigh-in show today. But Casey, how are you feeling, my friend?
Dude, I don't understand I don't know what time it is. I just put things in my Google Calendar, my alarm goes off, and I show up. That's like, it's going. Yeah, these three cards in Abu Dhabi, and they're all at 3 different times. Yeah, fun.
I see Maria Gronin, a regular viewer, says it's 5:57 a.m. in Holland. So Maria, thank you as always for joining us. You are a superstar. You guys watching and listening are always the real superstars. Hopefully we'll get to answer some of your questions later. But of course, right now we are just waiting to see who the first fighter is. We have 28 fighters to weigh in today.
Yes, yeah. Only 28. Oh,
Jose,
man.
Jose with what I would call a groan of excitement. That's which only he can deliver. Which only Jose, guys, you only get that from Jose. He has been on Fight Island in Abu Dhabi for, I imagine, almost 3 weeks now.
Well, this is Jose. This is Jose on camera right now. Like he's the fight week has.
Oh, hi, Jose. Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough. He looks great. He looks great.
One second.
Okay. Jose has some business to take care of. We'll keep chitter-chattering away here while he takes care of stuff again on the ground, as he has been for the last couple of weeks now. And let's not forget, Jose was also there on the previous trip to Fight Island, so he has spent a lot of more time there on Fight Island than most human beings. Crazy HD vids, crazy hood vids, 10:58 in St. Louis. So good to know. Everyone coming in hot. Jose, wait, what was that? Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning. I see Chris DeRube coming in with a Duval. Yep.
Duval.
Whether you're from Jacksonville or not, shout outs to Duval. Shout outs to Duval County. No problems there. Always going to shout out to Duval.
Hey Esther, can I get a Duval from the kitchen? What? Can I get a Duval from the kitchen? A little louder. Louder. Oh, she's not real Jacksonville.
Well, always great to hear from Esther Lynn, of course, our good friend Esther Lynn. So shout outs to Duval. Of course, the home of one of the greatest musical acts of all time, Limp Bizkit. So
I just got the double fingers, by the way, from Esther Lynn.
What's up, Scott?
I got the double birds.
Scott McCrate, 11 p.m. in Nashville. Scott always listens to the shows, always asking when's the show going to be. So we are here for you, my friend. Tom Cash, 6 p.m. on Tuesday, 6 p.m. in the evening in New Zealand. Al Mac, of course, my fellow Torontonian, though I am in Markham, a suburb of Toronto, but yes, my fellow GTA Torontonian, Al Mac, he says, making note, it is 6 p.m. in Hawaii, which is, yes, that's a fact. It is 6 p.m. in Hawaii.
We start and so.
Okay.
The featherweight division, Douglas Silva de Andrade.
Ooh, sorry for this, guys.
He said, yes, featherweight. That's right. Former bantamweight Douglas Silva de Andrade coming up. All right. Well, I don't know who had him, but if you had him first in your bingo card, feel free to punch that in. We are getting Douglas Silva de Andrade. Guy always looks impressive on the scale. He'll be fighting Lerone Murphy.
Looking good coming off the bus. Is that what they say?
That's and there you go. Never disappoints. And the mullet still got the mullet going.
This guy works out.
145 for de Andrade.
145 for de Andrade. Again, the guy used to have, look at him, you can understand he used to have trouble making weight, 135, 145, no issues so far. He is on point, and he's ready. So our first fighter loaded up. His fight is not official yet. We have to wait for his opponent, Lerone Murphy. But there you go. There's one in the books. 1 out of 28 successful so far.
Oh, here we go. 145, right?
That was 145 for Douglas Andrade. We'll chat. We're here for you guys, but we'll try to keep the chatter to a minimum while we have this first rush of fighters.
Thank you, brother.
I see Suzanne in the comments asking, was that dollar store Simone? Well, we'll Ricky Simone here as well, but I believe he will once again. Have you seen Ricky Simone? Is he still sans mullet?
I haven't seen him yet.
We'll find out today.
What do we think about this little picture-in-picture? Like, so we get AK's reactions as these guys are weighing in live.
I don't think anyone wants this. I don't think anyone wants this.
People want it.
Guys, I'm here. If you can't see me, I'm here. Don't worry about it.
126 for Figueiredo.
This is 126 for the younger brother of flyweight champion Davison Figueiredo. This is Francisco Figueiredo. So for anyone who wasn't aware, yes, Davison Figueiredo's brother will be making his UFC debut this Wednesday.
You can hear all
he has previously.
Yeah,
he has been
literally 2 inches away from me, hyping him up. Anything specific? Anything specific you had to say about him, Jose? I can't really speak Portuguese, so no.
Oh. Oh, he does some English in there for you. That was 126 for Francisco Figueiredo, who has been competing at bantamweight recently, up and down his brother's class. He might be he said he's happy to fight guys and kind of be his brother's bodyguard, kind of be a test for other flyweights thinking they can come up and challenge Deus Tigueira. So there we go, 2 for 2 so far.
Flyweight division, Zaruk Adashev.
This is Zaruk Adashev coming up. This is a 125er.
$126 for Adashev.
126 for Zaruk Adashev. Had a tough draw in his UFC debut. Had to fight Tyson Nam on less than a week's notice, and he, obviously he was KO'd. But again, that's a tough draw. Especially for a guy, that was only his 5th pro fight. He kind of ran through
division next, and we have Roxanne Modafferi.
The Happy Warrior.
Veteran, the Happy Warrior, Roxanne Modafferi coming in next. The veteran.
Oh, you love to see it.
Yes.
What's Naruto?
126 for Roxanne.
126 for Roxanne Modafferi, successfully making weight for her
She
43rd.
She did the like when they transition in Naruto. There's a very signature like grunting noise. She just did it. That's funny.
There you go. There's the thank you, anime. Thank you, Jose, for the anime. That went right over my head. I'm sure a lot of our viewers got it, but yeah. So a very cool nod. Of course, Roxanne's hardcore. She's got all the references. Has had some great costumes at previous weigh sort of things. Like another costume for. Yeah, she always brings
sir.
Her. I apologize. Her uniform, anime uniforms, anime.
Uniforms.
Help me, Jose. Help me.
Who's this?
No,
Is this?
I believe this is Victoria Leonardo. I believe.
Oh, okay.
125 and a half for Leonardo.
Victoria, yeah.
125.5 for Victoria Leonardo, recent Invictus standout, getting her shot at the UFC. Oh,
Quick pause.
okay, all right. A little bit of an early pause. So we'll just do it. I'll do a very quick recap. We've had Roxanne Modafferi successfully weigh in 126 for her 43rd professional fight. Douglas Silva de Andrade at 145. He fights Laurent Murphy. We're waiting for him still. And we've had all flyweights so far. Zaruk Adashev at 126, Francisco Figueiredo, the brother of Davison, at 126, and Victoria Leonardo making her UFC debut. So far, so good. 125.5. But we have no bouts official. We've just had 5 fighters weigh in. We are still waiting for their
division, Mike Villanueva.
At light heavyweight now, we have Ike Villanueva coming up. He is looking for his first UFC win after kind of stepping in. I believe both his fights so far have been short notice, but he's got a main card opportunity here. Let's see if he can make 205 first.
$206 for Villanueva.
206 for Villanueva. He made light heavyweight for his last fight against Jordan Wright. He lost that in the first round. He got hurt, and a cut was eventually what caused the end of the fight. But he's hoping for a win here. He's also facing a guy looking for his first win, Vinicius Moreira, who will weigh in later. Moreira is 0-3 so far, and we'll talk about him later. But Matt Schnell coming up next for a flyweight bout, I believe. Oh, yes, flyweight bout on the main card.
This fight should be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
He's hoping to right the ship for Louisiana after the Saints loss on Sunday.
They have booked this. This is the third time this fight has been booked, so I think the matchmakers know that should be a good one.
Also celebrated a birthday if you watch the media day scrums.
Oh, really? How old is he now?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
126 for Schnell.
126 for Matt Schnell. So another flyweight on weight.
I always like to point out, I just got a cup of hot cocoa.
Oh.
Next up in the middleweight division, Dalcha Lungiambula.
And a cookie. While
Okay,
I'm
well, now
watching
you're
weigh-ins.
just bragging.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, now you're just bragging. I have
I'm
water.
I'm living the life. You have water. Are you a room temperature guy? How do you do? Ice cubes? You know?
Nah, just whatever, right out of the sink. Whatever temperature is out of the sink.
You're a madman.
Just trying to stay hydrated, brother. We got Dalcha Lungiambula here. He is trying to make 185.
$186 for Lungiambula.
Or 186. Either way. 186, successful weigh-in for Dalcha Lungiambula. So no misses so far, anyone. If you have any questions about who's weighed in, has anyone missed, we have this wonderful graphic up on our screen, which Casey is so excellently updating.
Next up in the women's flyweight division, Manon Fiorot.
Another flyweight, Manon Fiorot.
There's a whole bunch of flyweights on this card. Is this the
A
most
lot of
flyweights?
flyweights.
Most combined men and women? I think this is most flyweights ever on a card.
Has to be.
This
Has
is-
to be. Yeah, but I'm seeing at least 8. Yeah.
Maybe the tough finale with the flyweights. Maybe
Oh, sure. Yeah. Sure.
You can't count that one.
Manon is a highly praised prospect making her UFC debut after she's won 5 straight fights after dropping her professional debut a few years back. So a lot of expectations for Fiorot, but she has a tough opponent in Victoria Leonardo.
I'm always curious about fighters who lose their first pro fight and still go on to a very successful career.
126 for Fiorot.
126 for Fiorot. That's right, Casey. Names like Chris Cyborg,
I think Henan Brow.
Henan Brow, Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
And they all did pretty well. They all did pretty well.
We got our first official fight.
We do, yes. Victoria Leonardo versus
Next,
Manon
in the
Fiorot
division, Lerone Murphy.
will be official again. As Jose always says, nothing's official until we see both fighters in the cage. But yes, they have gotten past the difficult part of the weigh-ins. Now we have Lerone Murphy. We can have him fight official as his opponent. Douglas Silva de Andrade made weight successfully earlier at 145. Murphy has done very well for himself in 2 UFC appearances, fighting to a draw in his first fight, and then winning his second fight. So he's 1-0-1 so far, and seeing a veteran like Andrade could really make a name for himself. Andrade, I believe, has only lost 3 times in 29 career fights, so not a bad name to have in your resume. So we'll see if Murphy can keep surprising people.
$146 for Lerone Murphy.
146 for Lerone Murphy, so that is official. Murphy versus Andrade.
For a couple of minutes, and we get back to it. Thank you.
We'll have ourselves a little pause. Murphy, of course, beat Ricardo Ramos by TKO in his last fight, and Ramos, of course, was a very highly touted fighter. So, the relative number from England. All right, so we have a handful of people who've weighed in. Plenty more to go, guys. Plenty more to go. You can leave questions, but I'll just give you guys a heads up. We probably won't get to too much question answering until we've gotten through a lot of people and we're down to maybe 5 or 6 names, into that second hour. But I could be wrong. If there's a big gap, well, I'm sure Casey is on top of things, grabbing your questions and comments. We have over an hour and 45 minutes left to weigh in. Casey, what do we got? Do we got any comments that are hopping out of you?
No, but I do have some music I'm gonna play when you read the weights.
Okay, we're all set to go again in the bantamweight division. Sergey Morozov.
I can't wait. Sergey Morozov coming up next. Former M1 global champion.
Dude, this hot chocolate is wonderful. I haven't had a hot chocolate in a few years, I think. So I'm having a great time.
I hope everyone, wherever you are, is having a great time, whether you're having a cocoa or you're having, again, someplace you might be having dinner, having a lunch. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves watching these weigh-ins.
Who is this gentleman?
This is Sergey Morozov.
I don't know a lot of these fighters, unfortunately.
135 for Morozov.
135 for Morozov. Again, former M1 bantamweight champion, very accomplished fighter in his own right, but facing someone with the last name Nurmagomedov, so he is actually, I believe, the biggest underdog on the card.
Moving up to the lightweight division, Mason Jones.
Oh, Mason Jones. There's a lot of hype behind this man.
Yes, 10-0, 2-division Cage Warriors champion at welterweight and weight. He won one title, both titles. Those were his last 2 fights, so he didn't have a chance to defend them before the UFC came and scooped him up. So there's a lot of expectations here.
$156 for Mason Jones.
156 for Mason Jones. So not championship weight. Casey, how do you feel about that? 2-division champion, not making lightweight championship weight.
Hey, he's smart. He knows. He knows. He is a champion. So when he needs to make weight, he will make the weight. But he is also a prize fighter, so you better pay for that extra pound.
His back piece is insane, by the way.
Oh, I want to know what. Okay, I'll explain. Describe that for us.
Huge,
After,
it's like a very hyper realistic skull taking up his entire upper back.
oh wow, that's a bit morbid. MMA Vloggers, I think it's a German name. Ma Vloggers saying, "Let's go, Mason. Let's go, Mason Jones." That's part of my German's a little rusty. And we have Mudaerji, also a fairly big favorite on the card. I believe minus 250 favorite on a lot of betting sites. So his last performance got a lot of eyeballs on him.
Is he a Chinese fighter?
He is from
126 for Mudaerji.
Tibet.
Oh, Tibet.
So he's 2 straight wins. He knocked out fellow Canadian Malcolm Gordon.
Was that 126?
My fellow Canadians. Sorry, I was chattering too much. I apologize. That was 126, correct? Yes.
For Sue.
It's a huge flyweight.
Yeah, so he's won 2 straight. He beat Andre Sukutat, who's a more experienced fighter. Beat him, and then KO'd Malcolm Gordon in 44 seconds. And Malcolm Gordon's pretty solid.
Tano Perello.
We have the debuting Tano Perello, short notice fighter. He'll have to make 135 coming up next.
I'm not sure what that little laughy face is for.
I think he's just amazed at how well I pronounced that German name. Yeah, that's. I try.
136 for Perello.
There you go. 136 for Perello, who is replacing Brian Kelleher. We were going to see a real banger between Kelleher and Simone. But, hey, hopefully Perello coming in, making weight. Maybe he'll surprise us. I'll be honest. I think like a lot of people probably don't know a lot about this guy. But
few minutes before we get going with the next match.
Sometimes these fighters we don't know a lot about can really give us some shocking moments, and who knows, become future contenders. So good for Perello for stepping up to this opportunity. But a lot to take on with Simone. Tough, really, we'll probably one of the 20 random weights now.
AK, you got look at the comment.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me see. I'm scanning things. Thank you, my bloggers. Yeah, I tried. It's tricky. If you have a website, I'm sure people can go visit. I imagine your name is probably on the website somewhere, so hopefully people will check that out. But yes, we have everyone successfully weighed in so far. Mostly flyweights. Many flyweights. Some of the most flyweights that we've ever seen on one card, male and female. So it's great to see if you're a fan of the flyweight division. I think we see 10 flyweight fighters to compete. And we've had a big boy, Ike Villanueva, also make weight at 206. You have the weigh-ins on screen. I'll give you guys periodically. I'll give you guys a full weigh-in, but you can see right there. Jose, how is the scene? Give us the man on the street eye again. Is it a very calm, sort of relaxed weigh-in atmosphere down there?
Yeah, it's people are just gearing up for 257 because we got that big meeting day today. So
oh yes,
I think that's where everyone's heads at right now.
What time was the Fight Island 7 one at local time? The weigh-ins?
I don't remember.
It was later, I think. I think it was later, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't in the morning, yeah. And then the 257 ones will be what time? Your time?
257 weigh-ins are going to be 3 p.m. local.
3 p.m. local. Okay. Afternoon again. Okay.
Yeah, the weigh-ins.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. So it's kind of, I don't know how you guys have managed to have any kind of schedule there. I know there hasn't been a lot to do other than probably think about working and what's next and covering UFC media responsibilities. But still, again, I know Jose, you've been down there for a long time, and everything's probably starting to blur together a little bit.
I like the idea of just sitting around and thinking about working. That's
Yeah, so I wonder how people leave in the comments how you're feeling about, I imagine for most people, I know you're not all in North America, but for a lot of us viewing in North America, it will be this kind of weird early morning card, 9 a.m. on the East Coast, 6 a.m. for West Coasters. I know a lot of you guys in other countries are probably just happy. I bet it's at a much more manageable time than some UFC cards are, so you guys are probably jumping to, hands to the roof. You guys are probably super excited. Do people still do their hands to the roof? I don't know. Noah asks, who is streaming the weigh-ins for you guys?
We are.
Yes. I think he wants to know who is the man responsible for setting up the video and go ahead, Jose. Shout yourself out.
My name is Jose Youngs. Find me. I'm the only Jose Youngs on planet Earth.
There you go. So there you go. Noah, that's the man you have to thank. Jose Youngs is the one who was on site and setting everything up and dealing with all the technical aggravations that come with bringing you weigh-in from.
My XLR got unplugged, so the first batch of weigh-ins are not going to have no audio.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Whatever. Again,
at least we didn't miss the manifest.
People, this is weigh-ins. You are getting weigh-ins from the other side of the world. All right, so listen, let's not take things for granted just because we live in an age of wonders. All right, back in my day, you just had to read about the weigh-ins, and you'd have to read about your UFC Fight Island 8 weigh-ins and tomorrow morning's paper. All right, so.
What do you mean other side of the world? I mean, as if the world is round? Are you trying to say the world is there?
Well, some fighters may disagree.
Okay.
I don't want to.
It's up for debate.
Right. I don't want to offend any of the fighters who see the world in a different, flatter perspective. Because again, who's to say? I'm not an astronaut. I've never been up there. Smarter people than I.
I'm pretty comfortable in saying if you believe the Earth is flat, you're a moron.
Wow. Well, again, that's it.
Or should I say, idiot?
Look, Jose keeps it real. All right, I'm a politician. I admit it. I'm diplomatic, but Jose keeps it real. He's going to give it to you straight from the hip. I'm not always going to do that.
I'm not here for the skullduggery.
He's not here for the skullduggery, folks. So keep your conspiracy theories and weirdo suggestions to yourself, please. Though I know there will be many. Fundamental Bear says, "How dare you? How dare?" I'm not sure who that's directed at.
How dare you? I enjoy saying "How dare you." I like now that I don't see anyone. I don't get to yell that at people as much as would like to. But once everyone gets their vaccine, life goes back to normal. I will be how daring a lot of people. Just how dare you?
All right, ready to go?
And there will be a lot of deserving people, I'm sure, Casey, that post, once we're out of this. Do we hear someone coming up, Jose?
Warlley Alves.
Warlley Alves, welterweight veteran. His first appearance in a while. Our own Guy Cruz, of course, spoke to Warlley and about kind of where he's been all this time. Not where he's been, but what he's been doing with all this time off, sort of wanting to reinvent himself. His career has stagnated a little bit since he came off hot, winning third season of The Ultimate Fighter Brazil. And he wants, like a lot of fighters, they want to get back to sort of what is it that made them so hyped up in the first place?
He's got such a great personality. I like this. I like this guy.
171 for Warlley Alves.
171 for Warlley Alves. I do wonder now, we said a lot of people were using the extra pound. We mentioned Mason Jones. It could just be how the scale's calibrated because it seems like everyone is coming up a pound over. So, it could just be a scale thing, and I don't think we should be too concerned about that. But, Warlley, funny, it's Casey, you mentioned the first now. He was one of the favorites of Chael Sonnen on the Chael Sonnen code.
Everyone on group haven't sound just yet.
Okay. Just wait on another show up in the hotel.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're not even there yet, huh?
Yeah.
So I wonder if Warlley learned a little bit from the, Linwood's most wanted himself. Maybe that's why he's so comfortable talking to the media. But it'll be good to see Warlley back. He has been out of action since. I have a good memory, but not that good. That's not true. I have a terrible memory, which is why I cheat. What did I say? Wait, where's Chael Sonnen from? Linwood is a place, though, right? Isn't that not a real place?
No, Linwood is
maybe in a flat world.
Linwood is like a very conservative. He's a conservative blogger that was blocked on Twitter and Parler and all that. Why stick to sports, bro? Stick to sports.
I'm sorry, I inadvertently
brought politics.
I like to, as I said, I don't keep it real all the time, but sometimes I like to.
Yeah, you did say you were a politician earlier.
I am literally a politician, yes. Yes, Warlley Alves has not competed since November 16th, 2019. So over 430 days. He lost to Randy Brown by triangle choke. So obviously he's probably been waiting a long time to get that loss out of his head, as it were. I want to read a really nice comment I just saw from Stayshar, who says, "Appreciate Jose doing the work he's doing for us. He seems a bit tired, probably a little, and then I hope this goes quick so the man can go get some rest." Stayshar, I hope so too. But he has as I say, he has a. But I mean, I know, like I said, you have media day today as well. Plus, let's not forget, people. There's UFC 257 still coming up on Saturday, so it has been quite an I don't want to say ordeal because I know Jose. Jose, you love it.
You loved it. I love it.
Yeah. You love it. He loves it, guys. He loves it. It's your comments and your smiling faces that get us through the day. Joseph Boza asks, "Is there any fights under the radar in this card?" Many. The card hasn't gotten any love. I mean, I'd say the majority of the card is probably flying under the radar for most people.
I think the card itself is just under the radar. Let's just call it that.
Yeah, as Joseph Boza mentioned, it lost a little bit of its cachet with the Chimaev Edwards fight getting postponed. But Casey, I'll go to you first. What we have the weigh-ins in front of us, we have the matchups in front of us. What do you think?
I love watching Ricky Simone fight. I'm very interested. This is a lot of prospects on this card. I think I said coming into this, there's a lot of fighters. I will have to ask you many times. Hey, who is that? So, I like Lerone Murphy. I love Lerone Murphy, and I don't know. Okay, I remember his opponent. I'm trying to think. When was the last time Andrade fought? Well, I can look it up, but
almost as long as Andrade. Almost as long as Warlley. I think a week. I think his last fight was a week before Warlley's last fight.
Oh, okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
He's only lost,
same.
But Andrade's only losses are to Jan, Rob Font, and Zubaira.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
This is a very tough fight for Mr. Murphy.
I would favor Andrade in this fight, honestly.
I think most would, yeah. This is also only his second fight since December 2018. So Douglas Andrade having had some trouble getting into the cage. Jose, would you say that's one of your fights to watch, the Murphy Andrade fight? Would that be the number one under the radar fight to watch, or something else?
No. I like the Mike Davis fight a lot. The Mike Davis.
Oh yeah, right.
Fight. That's the fight I'm saying, because if Mike Davis has only lost to Sadiq Youssef and Gilbert Burns, and Mason Jones hasn't lost yet. So we were talking about this before, like the Guram Gamrot fight from the last fight I was really high on, and I get the same vibes of this fight. It might not be as exciting, but I'm very, very excited for Mike Davis, Mason Jones.
Prince Vegeta-san says, "What up, guys?" Did I pronounce that right, Jose? Vegeta.
No, Vegeta.
Prince Vegeta-san. Hello. What is up, Prince? I bow to you, sir. Thank you for joining us in these weigh-ins, whatever time it is where you are. Jose, you make a point also. Yeah, Mike Davis is, his record doesn't necessarily say how tough he is. I think if I'm not wrong, his first fight was on 10 days notice. And I think his second fight was on 5 days notice, or the other way around. Yeah.
Well, he lost to Sadiq on the Contender Series. And then he took a couple fights on, I think it was Island fights or whatever. And then his debut was against Gilbert Burns.
It's tough.
And it was lightweight Gilbert Burns too.
Yeah. But yeah, he has. If I'm mistaken, I don't think either of his UFC appearances were on longer than 10 days notice. So hopefully, Mike got a bit of a longer camp this time around. And yes, he got another blue chip opponent. But
he was supposed to fight Danny Henry, and then if I'm not mistaken, he was supposed to fight Giga Chikadze twice.
Right
before those fights.
Oh, and yeah. So Mike Davis already has had a winding road in his brief UFC career. Kamui Killa just reminded us that yes, we have Umar Nurmagomedov, who is of course Khabib's cousin, and Francisco Figueiredo, who is Davidson's brother. So
name all the siblings who are.
I'm gonna say this. Hold on, let me say this. I don't know if we're doing.
You got something to say?
I do. I feel like the Nurmagomedov name is becoming a little bit like the Gracie name as far as how it's affecting odds makers. Because I think, let me just do a quick look here based on from Tapology. I think Umar is like a minus 500 favorite or something. And Umar is very good for anyone. His fights, you can find a lot of his fights on YouTube. Probably his last 6 or 7 fights are all on YouTube. he's as you would expect from Nurmagomedov. I mean, he's a very good athlete, and also, of course, a super high level wrestler. So, I mean, what you think is what you're going to see. But Sergey Morozov has faced higher level competition, quite frankly, and has more experience and is a bit older. And I think older in a good way, not as in older as in past prime. I think he's more in his physical prime than Umar is. So I'm essentially saying I think Sergey is going to pull off the upset. Yes, I see Umar as a minus 525 favorite. UFC debut, minus 525 favorite against a former M1 bantamweight champion. That's questionable. That's questionable.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
But you look at the fans. Even the fans, they're in Tapology. 93% of people are picking.
It's the name though. Now, let's not forget. Let's look at.
You think they just hand these names out? You have to earn that name, bro.
This is true. You're not born in Nurmagomedov. You become a Nurmagomedov. But Saeed, if we remember Saeed at flyweight, bantamweight. It's a bantamweight fight. Saeed also came in with a lot of hype and is a very good fighter. He lost.
Are they not related? Are they not related?
Saeed is not related, I think. But he fought Raoni Barcelos.
Mounir.
Oh, we have someone? Okay, Mounir Lazzez.
I am very excited to see this gentleman fight again in the UFC. I was super impressed with his first appearance.
Yes, upsetting Razak Al Hassan, which is not an easy thing to do. Many thought, oh well, Razak Al Hassan's another knockout victim for Razak Al Hassan, and that was not the case at all.
Five, 171 for Lazzez.
171 for Mounir Lazzez. So yes, another fighter using the extra pound. I do think it is the scale that's probably just a little bit off, because almost the majority of the fighters have had to use the extra non-title pound allowance. So there we go. That's our.
You should have seen the amount of media that ran up to the front when he stepped on the scale.
He cuts a striking figure, this Mounir Lazzez, and we have our co-main event now official, our welterweight co-main event. Warlley Alves came in at 171, and Mounir Lazzez came in at 171. So,
speak of Umar is here.
What?
When a fight gets official, man, you gotta play some.
All right.
It's official music.
Okay, well, thank you for. I must have missed it the first time. In case you guys didn't hear Jose, but now here we have Umar Nurmagomedov.
Oh, he's wearing a shirt.
Abdul Manap.
Yes,
Abdul Manap Nurmagomedov. Shout outs, of course, to the father of Habib, who passed away last year.
136 for Nurmagomedov.
136 for Umar Nurmagomedov, who ran through Guerrilla Fighting Championship over in Russia. Guerrilla Fighting Championship, of course, now Eagle Fighting Championship, owned by his cousin Habib. So we'll expect to see more fighters from the former Guerrilla Fighting Championship, now Eagle Fighting Championship. Probably become a pretty strong pipeline to the UFC. And who knows how many other Nurmagomedovs or fighters from Dagestan, other regions. We'll be debuting either in 2021 or 2022. But yes, remember the name Eagle Fighting Championship, guys. Again, I think they regularly post their full events on YouTube. I know they were when they were the GFC. I believe they're still doing the same with the UFC. You can just look it up and you can watch full events if you want to see guys before they make it to the UFC. There's going to be quite a few. So that's another fight official. Looks like we have.
So wait. So what is official?
That was Umar Nurmagomedov and Sergey. I'm just bracing myself. Sergey Morozov.
And what is it?
It's a bantamweight fight. It's official. Okay. I'll get better at queuing you up for that. Okay, sorry. It's taking me a second. I'll queue that up. The next one I'll have more sauce into it.
Thank you. I have very little joy in my life, AK. Will you give me this? Will you give me this?
Don't say that. Stop it. Guys, don't listen to the truck. The truck is just joking around. He lives a very, very fulfilling, wonderful life, as I'm sure all of you guys do, being up with us at 12:30 Eastern time, 12:30 in the morning Eastern time, watching 28 fighters weigh in for a card that will also take place in the morning. But yeah, we're still waiting for our main eventers, guys. Neither Michael Chiesa or Neil Magny have weighed in. Neither has had any issues with the 170-pound limit in the past. So two veterans probably just taking their time. We are also waiting on who else do we got here? I'm just trying to see. Actually, quite a few of the main card fighters have weighed in. We're waiting for Roxanne Modafferi's opponent, Viviane Araujo, Ike Villanueva's opponent, Vinicius Moreira. So we're nowhere near done, guys. We've got under the 90-minute mark now. Plenty of time for anyone weighing in. No one. Normally, I would give you guys a history of people who have had issues making weight. I don't really see anyone. So Noah Mann says, "I have very little joy, but we do find it." Sunglasses emoji. So that's a nice way of putting it. I think that, I hope that's the case for most people, guys. That you can find your joy. Especially when you're with us, guys, watching. We have quite a few people watching, which always amazes me. But always glad. Not because it's us, it's because the time. I mean, no. I mean, when we have an early morning North American.
Good comeback, AK.
Thank you. Or a late evening. Again, so there's people on the West Coast right now, Casey. It's what 9:30 your time.
It is.
Who instead of binging Netflix or catching some late night cinema or whatever it is that people do when they stay at home now, are choosing to stay with us, and watch our weigh-ins as we wait for Silva Morph to show up. But we got about half the card. In, so that's pretty good.
Oh, what? I think Justin has an answer.
Justin says, "We're degenerates." You're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's a reason we do this. There's a reason you guys watch. There's a reason we do this for a living. We can't go. I mean, look. If you want to talk about being degenerates, let's talk about. Can we talk about that main event on Saturday? Jose, I'll go with Jose. For Jose, we've had a couple of days now to digest that. So tell me, Jose, also, what was the viewing situation on Saturday? Because obviously they had fans back in the arena, and you guys were back cage side, correct?
Yeah, I only sat cage side for the first fight, just because you have to rush to the back and do work. And then, they brought. Normally I go out for the main event, but they brought They told us they weren't gonna hold the co-main winner. So I didn't get to watch the main event Octagon. So I didn't get to. I can't tell you how it was, but I watched the first fight. Fans were there, but they were still spread out, so it felt like if you covered a Vegas pay-per-view, it felt like the first fight of a Vegas pay-per-view, but the entire time, like just speckled throughout. But they were cheering, they were booing.
There were boos?
The first fight when there was a lack of movement. Then Mark Goddard had to warn the guys. There was a good 30 seconds of no action. They booed, but they cheered transitions, they cheered takedowns, and it was a good crowd. It wasn't a bad crowd at all.
Yeah, I heard it was a very educated crowd. I heard there was cheers and there was boos and no woos, which I know a lot of people in the media. No woos.
So wait, repeat that one more time.
Oh gosh, I'm setting myself up. So there was cheers and there was boos, but there was no woos. Wait, what are we using the music for? Hold on. I thought it was only for when fights are official.
Wait, do it again. Say what it was.
There was cheers and there was boos, but there was no woos. What? Anyway, Casey, I know you and Mike watching on TV were saying it reminded you a little bit of a New Japan pro wrestling crowd as far as how respectful and how knowledgeable the crowd seemed to be. There was about it was limited capacity. This is at Etihad Arena, 18,000 capacity maximum, but of course with limited attendance. They said that numbers are around 2,000. I think that's what it'll be for Wednesday's show and also for the pay-per-view. But Casey, so you and Mike made a good point. You said it felt like when you were watching that, it felt like a kind of a very respectful, not like a typical North American crowd.
And it felt everyone that was there wanted to be there. And I know it sounds weird because you always you can't just show up randomly, but they went out of their way to be there. So it wasn't just I felt like everyone there was a fan, not just someone that hey, I'm in Vegas, I got something to do. Let's just buy a ticket. Let's go see these fights tonight. So those all the really bad Vegas crowds are always those people. They're never fans. But
tickets are also really expensive. Yeah. You have to there's still packages. So you buy for $2,000, you can get tickets to every single fight, all three in the week. So if you're gonna shell out that amount of money, probably a big fan. Also, I heard because of the UK travel restrictions, I think Abu Dhabi got put on the list like fairly late. So you basically had to quarantine for 10 days before you could enter Abu Dhabi. So if you just found that out like 6 days in advance, you couldn't go to the fights because you weren't in quarantine for 10 days. So I know there was some media, especially out here, where they were in Dubai, and it was cutting it really close to like the 10 days. So like they quarantined for like the second the clock turns, they had to rush to Abu Dhabi.
So we were talking about a very select crowd, not just based on ticket prices, but also on logistics.
Yeah.
There's people that really had to plan ahead of time and say, I'm definitely going to go to this event.
Yeah. I know a lot of people bought tickets that couldn't go because of the restrictions.
Yeesh, that would suck.
So some people, I think, I've talked with Farah of MMA Junkie and UFC Arabia or Abu Dhabi. I can't quite remember, but she was saying like some of her friends or brothers friends or whatever like bought tickets and they can't go because they missed the quarantine window. So they have to sell them.
And this, I think we talked about this on Friday's Ways show, but yeah, people, this is the new reality, and I think we'll see that if Dana White has any hopes of bringing fans to any North American shows. Like I don't know if he wants to try and follow. I don't know if it's possible even to kind of follow the model that they did with Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi and try to do that for some venue in North America later this year. They won't.
Yeah, Dana. Sorry.
He said because if you remember, like even the last Fight Island. We asked him about the arena, and he basically said, I won't do it anywhere, but Abu Dhabi could do pretty much whatever they want because they've been so accommodating. So I think this is more like a thank you maybe to the Abu Dhabi people that allowed him to do these 3 bubbles in like a short amount of time, but he won't do it in the United States, he said.
Okay. Yeah.
America again, is not as accommodating.
And maybe has not been handling COVID as well, to put it lightly.
Movement, so.
All right, in the lightweight division, Mike Davis.
There we go.
Ooh.
Speak of the devil, Mike Davis coming up now to weigh in. This will be a lightweight weigh-in. Big opportunity for Mike Davis here to end a hype train, possibly hand Mason Jones his first loss, and become the lineal Cage Warriors lightweight champion.
Whoa.
$154.5 for Mike Davis.
154.5 for Mike Davis. And you know what that means? With his opponent, Mason Jones, successfully weighing in earlier, 156, this Mike Davis-Mason Jones fight is now official.
Next up in the bantamweight division, Ricky Simon.
Casey, we nailed
that felt good. That felt really good.
We nailed it. It did feel good. That did feel good. It felt good to do it.
That felt good.
Ricky Simon coming up next.
Oh,
No,
man.
Does he have the mullet?
Sorry, okay.
No. And you know what? He cut the head of his last fight, and he won his last fight. Just for the record, he did win after cutting off the mullet. So maybe kind of helped him get back on. I'm just saying.
136 for Ricky Simon.
136 for Ricky Simon. His opponent, Tano Perello, also weighed in earlier at 136. So yes, everyone, that fight is now official.
God, that feels good.
Okay. Yeah, it's real good. Yes, guys, I'm sorry. It's true. There's no mullet, no more mullet for. He cut ahead of his last fight. And yes, he fielded many questions about it. I think he was asked about it before the fight. I think he's about it out of the fight. I don't think he wants to talk about the mullet anymore. And if he wins again, I don't think that we will see it come back. He did score victory in his last outing. And look, pro athletes are very superficial. So he got a win over Ray Borg, and that was a nice nod to get himself back on track. He's now 4-2 in the UFC. Noah Manson, we need the mullet. Come on, I don't know.
What did superficial have to do with it? Do you mean superstitious?
What did I say?
He said superficial. He said professional athletes are superficial.
Well, they are superficial, so that's not wrong. But yes, no, I meant I clearly meant superstitious. Yeah.
Get it together.
Oh, there we go. Well, that's fine. Yes, many pro athletes are superstitious, especially when it comes to something like hair. Of course, the classic story of Samson. Typically, your hair is not something you want to mess with. But as it stands, repping the thank you, Prince. Is it Vegeta? God, I should know. Is Vegeta or Vegeta again? It's Vegeta.
It is. You said it right that time.
Vegeta. Okay, thank you. It's Vegeta. Yes. So we do have Douglas Silva de Andrade still rocking that mullet. So for you mullet fans, if you want to change your allegiances over to another fighter for this card, Douglas Silva de Andrade has got your back. So let's I may as well do a full rundown now. I don't think I've done one since we started. We are still waiting on our welterweight headliners, Michael Chiesa and Neil Magny, neither of which has weighed in yet. But our co-main event welterweights, Warlley Alves and Mounir Lazzez, both successfully weighed in at 171. At light heavyweight, Ike Villanueva, came in at 206 pounds. We're still waiting for his opponent. Roxanne Modafferi came in 126 pounds. We're still waiting for her opponent. Schnell also successfully weighed in at 126. He's waiting for Tyson Nam. And then we have the main card opener is official between Lerone Murphy at 146 and Douglas Andrade at 145. Middleweights, Omari Akhmado, Tom Breeze will be closing out the preliminary card. Neither has weighed in yet. Rika Simone, who we just saw, came in at 136. His opponent successfully weighed in earlier, 136. That is Tano Perello. Mudaerji weighed in at 126 for his flyweight bout with Zaruk Adashev, who also weighed at 126. Dalcha Lungiambula came in at 186. We are waiting for his opponent, short notice replacement Markus Perez. Jerome Rivera has not weighed in, but his opponent has Francisco Figueiredo, the younger brother at 126, the younger brother of flyweight champion Davidson Figueiredo. We have a lightweight bout, and then our first three bouts, the prelims are official. Mike Davis at 154.5 versus Mason Jones, who came in at 156. Umar Nurmagomedov at 136. He fights Sergey Morozov at 135, and Victoria Leonardo, who came in at 125.5 for her flyweight fight with Manon Fiorot. Apologize for the pronunciation of some of those names, guys. It's a lot of fighters. It's a few people making their UFC debuts or maybe making their sophomore appearance. So I'm doing my best here. We do not have the master of. Thank you. We do not have the master of pronunciations, John Anik, who I will always defer to. Present, I believe it's John Gooden's there, right, Jose?
Yes, he's the one reading the ways.
Right. Okay. And John does a great job too, but I know Anik for sure is a stickler. And generally anything John Anik says, I assume is it's either correct or at least an acceptable way to pronounce someone's name. So I always say, go to John Anik. If you hear John Anik say it, that's the way to roll.
AK, I was so impressed how you read all those names. That was very impressive.
Thank you,
sir. I would have passed out like halfway through.
I did clearly. I ran out of breath about midway through. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty obvious. I took a deep breath in there, but thank you. That's why I make the big bucks reading names. I believe that's how I got this job, Casey. I think I just read a bunch of names for our editor.
Yeah, like, that's all your LinkedIn is like just your LinkedIn just says ask me names and I'll say them. Yeah.
When I was young, ask me, give me a name. I dare you.
I'll repeat it.
I love your heading.
Oh, there's Jose.
Nope.
That's what happens when I'm bored.
Casey, I think we could probably start fielding some questions if there are any, or comments. I know that you guys been leaving great comments on YouTube. If there's any questions.
All right.
Okay.
He muted.
He just, there's a lot. There's a lot of chatter going on around Jose right now, so he's just kind of sparing us a little bit of the background chatter that's going on.
All right. We got any? Yeah. Everyone listening?
Well,
if you have any questions or comments,
we were sort of talking about Saturday's main event before the weigh-in started, resuming again, and it was
What's that? What is Saturday's main event? I'm sorry. What is that one?
The Max Holloway Calvin Kattar fight, which I really enjoyed, but certainly as long as I didn't think about sort of the implications of what we were watching, because look, last week, of course, one of the bigger stories that our site put out was Stephen Morocco's wonderful, sobering profile of former UFC star Spencer Fisher. I'm sorry, I was about to say Stephen Fisher. Spencer Fisher, which, you know, of course, had a lot to do about brain damage and the consequences that these fighters so much that they deal with, and that a lot of them are going to be dealing with for the rest of their lives, with varying degrees of support from the UFC and from other people. So then everyone at home wave hi to Jose. He can't see you, but he'll feel you're waving. So for that to be the story of the week, and then for the week to be capped off by there's no other way to put it, a one-sided beatdown of Calvin Kattar. And Calvin Kattar put on a great, I thought, very tough, very gutsy performance. It was on someone else, I think, to stop that fight, whether it be ringside physician, whether it be Herb Dean, whether it be his cornerman. I would say cornerman. So it was really kind of an odd contrast of things. But now that we've had a couple of days sort of to soak in sort of everything that happened there. Casey, how are you feeling about that 5-round main event we just saw?
Okay, on Holloway's, from just a Holloway perspective, good God, that man defies logic. Like what he can do inside that octagon, the amount of volume he can bring, his timing, his just his toughness, like how he can still throw these combinations. He can eat a shot, walk right through that shot, and still keep going. Like, he puts a pace on these opponents that it breaks them. It seriously, it's a different style, but it reminds me of Nate Diaz striking in a sense that there's never gonna be that one shot that's gonna really hurt you, but it's just gonna be just that barrage. You never get to reset. You never get to. I guess Kattar never looked like he was fighting his fight. He looked like, for the entire 25 minutes, he looked like he was always reacting to Max Holloway. And, you know, you're going to have those points in fight where you have to just be purely defensive and react to your opponent. But it was the entire fight. It looked like it was just Max Holloway and Max Holloway having fun. I mean, like Max Holloway said in his post-presser, it's fun to punch people in the face. It really is. It feels good. And you could tell Max was like just in the happiest place right there. Just like, I'm punching this man that wants to punch me. You know, and I'm punching him way more. And so for Max Holloway's perspective, if you're a fan, that was an amazing performance. In fact, if he would have finished Kattar like in the first round, it would have been less impressive than what he did. Because as fans, we got to watch that for 25 minutes. Because sometimes, you know, you get these big exciting fights you're hyped up about, but it ends in 2 minutes, 1 minute, whatever. You're like, that kind of sucks. I mean, you're excited, but you're kind of bummed into it so quickly. This is like, man, that was just 25 minutes of just pure violence, high-level violence to watch. One-sided, though.
Yeah, it was. But, you know, Kattar's side of it, his going the distance, it was almost a throwback to the wonderful days when New England was known more as a home of lovable losers than the all-encompassing sports monster that wins a championship like once every 2 years. But Kattar kind of reminded me of those days, kind of when those of us outside of the New England area could kind of look at, you know, Boston, Massachusetts, things like that as people being lovable underdogs. Now we just hate them. But Kattar certainly, I think, gained a lot of respect from people. Again, if his corner had stopped it, and I don't think anyone would have complained, because Kattar was not going to do it. Kattar, I think, I don't know what he was thinking, or if he was thinking that much at all. In the fourth or fifth round, there's no way a guy like him was going to stop, was going to take a shot and embellish it to try and get out of the fight. He really was fighting like a guy who thought, I'm one shot away. And if it was anyone but. Yeah,
that's why the fight was so difficult to stop, I think, for the ref and for Kattar's corner.
Yeah,
because I think at the home we were feeling the same way. There were moments where, like, I think the third and fourth round, we're like, all right, stop the fight. But then he would throw a big hook or a big elbow. You're like, ooh, man, if that one landed, that would really hurt Max, you know. And like, so you can tell Kattar's still in the fight and still throwing technique. He's not just throwing his arms out there. So, yeah, it was during the fight. It was weird. Like, during the fight, I was screaming, "Stop the fight!" But then after the fight, I was like, you know what? I'm glad they didn't stop it. But then I was kind of thinking today, I wish they would have stopped it.
And that's why I asked you now, because in the moment, again, we were all caught up in it. I mean, in our sort of channel, we were talking, we were saying, "Oh, this is a great fight. We'll be looking at this as a fight of the year." 11 months from now, and now that I think I'm like, maybe we won't. Like, I definitely, of course, still enjoyed it on a certain level, but I think rewatching it, it's and just thinking about it, it really wasn't a super competitive fight. Yeah.
Oh, good God, it wasn't. That fight. You knew who was going to win that fight in the first 2 minutes. I felt in the first 2 minutes, you could tell Kattar's like, unless Max was going to get tired or something like that, you just, in the first 2 minutes, you're like, okay, Max has got this. It was just and it was just like, it's one of, if we're coming out of a fight and all we're talking about is how tough you are, that means you got your ass kicked so bad. That's all. That's all that means.
I'll say for Kattar, though, I swear some of those punches that he did actually land on Holloway, if it wasn't for Holloway's incredible chin and also reflexes, I think when we see those punches land, I think these guys they're so well trained defensively that they have these very, very like last second movements that we can't even see. That's just saving them. Just saving them from that punch, like landing super clean. And again, also he just has an inhuman chin. I mean, Holloway's ridiculously tough. Al Max says as soon as I saw Kattar showing up, I knew it was over.
Never been dropped. I think I saw Mike Bond put that on Twitter, according to whatever the fight stats. They were like, Max Holloway, like never been dropped. He has like the most amount of minutes or whatever in the cage and never been dropped. Which I go, oh yeah, you're right. Like, fighting 50 minutes of Alexander Volkanovski, never dropped him, never really even wobbled Max Holloway. He fought Dustin Poirier. This is at 55 too. When he fought Dustin Poirier, and remember that slugfest, that beating that he took from Dustin Poirier. But when you think about it, he actually never hit the ground. His butt never hit the ground, which is bonkers. So.
I think some of the shots Kattar landed in that fight with Holloway, I think they knock out some other featherweights. I really do.
They definitely changed the momentum of a fight for sure. Like, that's got that must have just actually credit to Max Kattar, Kattar, to throw those shots and just get your confidence just smashed, but yet you still finish the fight. And actually, when the whole stop the fight, as far as I remember, that was like in the third and fourth round. The fifth round was kind of not competitive, but Kattar was in the fight in the fifth round. Like, he somehow, when the fight ended, he somehow was a bit stronger than, say, the middle rounds. I mean, Max was just unstoppable in the entire fight, but
this is a fight where I really don't think there's a wrong answer. Here's me sitting on the fence again, as always. I really don't know if there's a wrong answer, just to, if you're on the side of should they have stopped the fight earlier, should they not have? Because, like you said, after round two, other than a puncher's chance for Kattar, we knew Holloway was a better fighter. It took 2 rounds. We knew there was no question Holloway was a better fighter. Could he have gotten caught by something? Sure, just like literally any fight in history. But was Kattar the better fighter on that night? No. There was nothing that I think Kattar could do to prove he was a better fighter, again, other than landing a lucky shot. However, again, the fact that Kattar was so active and was coming forward and was landing punches, there is that case to be made that he deserved the chance to go the distance.
That's pretty much how I convinced myself that too. When I was talking to Laura Sanko on the post show, during the fight, I was thinking, you know what, the fight should have been stopped. But then I'm like, God damn, Calvin Kattar I was at Calvin Kattar's fight when he got his first pro loss for Elite XC. I was there, so that was over 10 years ago. I was like, this dude's still grinding, still doing it. He gets a main event against Max Holloway. It's like he has earned this chance. He's also earned this ass kicking, because it takes a decade, working your way up to earn that ass kicking. So, I'm conflicted.
Well, the big thing for us, I think, as observers, and when people ask, well, how can you laud the Spencer Fisher story and tell everyone to care about the Spencer Fisher story, and then also be kind of a Just Bleed MMA fan and be like, oh, this fight was so amazing, it was so cool watching Kattar come at Holloway for 5 rounds and not give up. Really, for us, is look, yes, these guys know the risk, and I also, in my mind, I said, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know if they do these sort of backroom bonuses still or how they do them. Both guys should be giving at least $1 million for that fight. Anything less than $1 million for Calvin Kattar for that performance is criminal. Okay, so I don't know what the disclosed salary is going to be. I don't know what other bonus is going to be. He got the $50,000 fight of the night. It's still not, if that all adds up to like $300,000, $400,000, like the biggest payday of his career or whatever, it's still not enough. He should get $1 million minimum for what he went through that night. And again, this is stuff that he should be paid that for show money. I'm not saying like, oh, he earned it. I'm saying like, knowing that there's the potential for the kind of action this guy brings, he should be getting $1 million no win bonus, no loss bonus, whatever, $1 million flat at least for all his fights. So as we celebrate the violence guys, but we also advocate for greater compensation. We want to see these guys get paid for these real guys, and you guys should.
Yeah, you know what? Like,
Okay. We got someone coming up. Yeah.
all right.
We got,
Okay, the
there you go.
weight division.
I was ready to talk more brain damage, but we'll move on. And who is this gentleman?
Marcus Perez.
Oh,
You
Marcus-
can't
no-
recognize him. That is Joker.
No Joker makeup.
And a beard.
186 for Perez.
186 for Marcus Maluco Perez. So yes, without the we apologize, guys. Without his customary Joker makeup, we did not recognize him right away.
He normally does that for stare downs, though. Not white.
Right. Oh, okay.
The beard.
Okay,
He has
fair
the beard. The beard. Yeah.
The flyweight division, Tyson Man.
Marcus Perez. He made weight. So.
Hold on. Well, we have Tyson Nam coming up
okay,
first.
yeah. Don't
That's allowed.
I know it's Tyson's time to shine right now. Let's give him.
Respected veteran.
Oh my God.
126 for Man.
126 for Nam, who I think is coming back down to flyweight. Oh, for the first time in a couple of fights. That's right. No, he did get it to fight at flyweight twice, a couple of times, but has yet to win at flyweight in the UFC. So we'll see if he can get that one against Matt Schnell on Saturday. Yes, Casey, that's right. Sorry, that Tyson Nam at 126, Matt Schnell at 126, and we also had Markus Perez coming at 186. And his opponent, Dalcha Lungiambula, weighed in at 186 earlier. So, yes, those two fights, Casey, are now official.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
We have a little bit.
Damn it.
I really thought we had something there.
Damn it.
I really thought we had something there. We'll edit that in post. We'll edit that, but don't worry. That's not going to show up in the video.
You know what screwed me up? You did both fights at the same time.
We're not just going to play the music. We don't need to be gratuitous. Oh, Joseph Bose is saying he wished I think that we had played it twice. All right. Next time I'll do that. I'll do each guy should get the music. Jose, are you back with us?
Oh.
Yeah, dog.
So we were talking about the Holloway fight. So I'm sure you heard our conversation, but I want to hear from you. Now that we had a couple of days to think about the fight, we're kind of out of, we're not in the moment anymore. What are your thoughts looking back on that 5-rounder?
It was insane, man. That was one of the most insane things I've ever seen. I wish I could have sat Octagon side for it, but man, I'm like putting things in I was trying to remember I've used this analogy a few times on various shows that we do, but like pitching a perfect game in baseball. Like I add that performance to the list of McGregor, Alvarez, or Anderson, Forrest Griffin, just perfect performances. And I'm adding Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar to that list, honestly, because that was unreal.
But I think it's interesting that we call it a perfect performance, and it was still a decision. I think that's because most we think it's perfect fights, and eventually their opponent goes down. And Calvin Kattar Calvin Kattar ever get dropped?
No,
I don't think a knockdown was scored. He stumbled once. It wasn't a knockdown.
He was on Bambi. He was on Bambi legs
a couple of times. But yeah, his hand never touched the ground. His butt never touched the ground. So, I think it's pretty. That's what I was talking about. If Max would have finished that fight, say in the first round or second round, I think we'd have gone okay, good win for Max. He's back. But for some reason, 25 minutes of that was special.
No, 50-42 is an insane scorecard.
Is it 3-10-8 to do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all striking. That's not we've seen those kind of scores. Maybe wrestling dominant fights, I just held a guy, yeah. But 3-10-8 rounds from stand up striking. The amount of volume, but man, the amount of damage that Kattar took really freaks me out. And we won't know. We won't know the real repercussions of this for a while. It's not like.
It's true.
Yeah, Spencer Fisher, he walked out of the fights fine. He was like, oh, that was a crazy fight, but it wasn't until months later, years later, that real side effects happen. So man, I'm hoping Calvin Kattar is just built different, man, because that was there was a reason that fight felt so special, because the amount of damage Kattar took was I don't know.
Or it's like we said, in an ideal world, he would have made like over $1 million for that fight, and he'd be able to take a whole year off. I would love to see from a fight like that.
Stand by. Also, it's
we have
crazy
someone
to
else
say
coming
that Calvin. Yeah, it's also crazy to say that Calvin Kattar landed 131 significant strikes. And
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of strikes. 130 strikes. That wins you a fight normally. That really normally wins you a fight.
That's why the fight was so hard for their corner to stop, because he was still hitting Max
Tom Breeze here.
at a normal amount that a normal person would get beat up and lose, but no. Max Holloway.
We'll be talking about this fight for a long. I mean, we definitely will be talking about it by the end of the year. Will it make a best of list? I don't know, but we will be talking about this fight for quite a while. Tom Breeze, good to see him. He actually made 2 appearances in 2020, so good for him.
186 for Tom Breeze.
Oh, he's coming off a very good victory. Yeah.
He is. He beat newcomer KB Bular. Great win for Tom Breeze again, and a guy he hasn't been able to get in the cage a lot for the last few years. So for him to log 2, he didn't win both fights in 2020. He did lose to Brendan Allen, but just to log 2 UFC appearances, I think that's really, really big for him, because he's such a talented guy. He's not even 30 years old yet, and I still someone I see could be a top 10 middleweight, and he's facing a ranked guy in Omari Akhmado. So he'll get a chance to. He might have a number next to his name if he gets a victory on Wednesday. So good to see Tom Breeze make weight and get his 3rd fight in a short amount of time, which is, again, has not been easy for him. Casey, what were we saying before? We were talking. Oh yes, Kattar. So yeah, we won't know the full cost of the fight. He got, I believe, a provisional 6-month suspension.
That was for a broken nose, not for
a broken nose. Those came out today for heart. I mean, he should get, again, ideally a year off. $1 million. He gets to get $1 million, which he'll take a year off. 18. It would suck for us. Look, I get it. I know people are saying it would suck for us as fans. Some of our famous fighters, our favorite fighters, excuse me. Every time they were in a back and forth fight of the year war, we didn't see them again for over a year. But gosh, I often compare some of these more brutal fights or knockouts to getting into a car accident. If someone got into a car accident, even if they, they recovered, they went to the hospital, would you then tell them to get into a car accident again 4 months later? No, you wouldn't. That would be insane. And that's what we're doing a lot of the times when we're telling these fighters we're getting these, either get brutally knocked out or get into these 5-round wars. Oh, well, you passed all the medical checks. You're otherwise fine. Yes, other than bumps and scrapes and the normal stuff that comes along with being a fighter. Get back in there. You can sign a new contract. Go get into another car accident. That's what we're doing, and that's sort of what we kind of have to reconcile as people who follow the sport. So think about it.
I remember a few years ago talking to Rose Namajunas, and she was kind of just complaining a little bit how fans and media will go to her and they go, "Hey, have fun, man. Have fun in your fight." And she was like, "What? Fun? Are you serious? This isn't fun." Every punch hurts. Everything hurts after these fights. It's this isn't fun. It's I'm doing this because I like to fight, but this is not fun. She was just people are crazy to think this is fun.
It's funny you say that, Casey, because that's actually my sign off for every whenever I interview fighters. That's my sign off. I say, stay healthy. Number one, stay healthy and have fun on fight night. Because I don't like to say good luck. I don't just like to say good luck. I hope you win or something. Because that's, we try to be objective. So I just say have fun on fight night. But now that you mentioned it, it is an absurd thing to say.
Yeah.
It is. It's sort of a nice thing to say, but it is absurd to say go in there and have fun and. While someone is probably
I usually say, regardless of the outcome, I hope you come out healthy.
Yeah, that's all. That's for sure. That's the most we can well wish. Yeah, just stay healthy and hopefully we get to see you fight often or the opposite. Hopefully you don't have to fight often because you get a big win, you get well compensated, and you can sort of choose to return on your own pace. But as we know, for the majority of UFC fighters, that is not the case. And so that's why we're being a bit of a downer here, guys.
Yeah,
sorry, we're keeping it a little so real now. Especially, look, to segue it, if I'm going to segue into some PR for this card that's coming up, we got 28 fighters coming up, guys, and it's the second card of the year. So very likely, MMA Wager says leg kicks hurt the most. Casey, you train. You actually train, so you definitely would be aware of.
What hurt?
Leg kick.
Leg kicks do suck. Actually, what hurts the most for me is getting checked on a good leg, getting checked on a good kick. Like you think you're gonna end the kick and they check it. Dude, when I see fights and someone gets checked hard, I die inside. I'm like, yeah. I've never been dropped. I've never been dropped of a liver shot yet. It hasn't happened yet. So,
fingers crossed someday.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
But the leg kick thing is I think even professionals obviously even the UFC, highest level UFC fighters, you'll see a guy, when a leg kick gets checked. And then suddenly you won't have as many leg kicks being thrown in that fight. So it's not a coincidence, guys. Casey is definitely speaking experience, telling the truth that a good check, it's not going to show up on the highlight reel, but boy, it can completely change how an entire fight goes. It's really going to just tell someone, okay, maybe I'm not going to do that.
Oh yeah, fights change so quickly on a good check. You'll see it really messes everything up in your body because all of a sudden you're like I can't do anything I wanted to do now. Because everything just, it's wild.
And we've all seen the worst case scenarios, of course, with the Anderson Silva and other fighters who have had their leg kicks checked and just messes up their leg. I'm sorry to bring it up. Look, we're after dark here, guys. We're after dark for all adult stuff. We can bring this stuff up, and of course, I think when people think of a badly checked leg kick, that's the first thing that comes to everyone's mind. So there we go. The fun thing to bring up. But yes, Wednesday's card. A lot of fighters fighting for the first time this year. I should say every fighter on this card.
Bold statement there.
Leave me alone. This is live YouTubing. All right, these things happen. This is live YouTubing.
Okay, go home. Go home.
I am at home.
How much?
I am at home.
I can't go anymore home. I'm trapped.
I have nowhere to go. So
Is this,
when we talk about
the calendar topper with the full one not on a globe?
I did not hear that at all.
Do calendars operate differently when they're on a flat Earth?
Do calendars operate differently? Casey, what do you say?
We're talking about flat Earth. Don't worry about it. You don't understand.
Okay.
You're one of those rounders.
My bad.
You just call them a rounder?
Is that what flat Earth people call people? I don't know.
I'm like Matt Damon and Ed Norton. I'm around.
Who's going on? Apparently, people are weighing in still.
Viviane Araujo.
Viviane Araujo.
All right.
Okay. Oh boy. Viviane Araujo, who will be fighting Roxanne Modafferi, who did successfully weigh in earlier.
Ooh. Fun fact: Roxy had 30 pro fights before Viviane made her pro debut.
So that is an amazing stat, and also because I know people don't know. Viviane Araujo has had a lot of success in the UFC so far. She's only been fighting since 2015. So I still kind of refer to her as a prospect, an up-and-comer, even though she already has beaten some good names.
$126 for Viviane Araujo.
126 for Viviane Araujo. Her opponent, Roxanne Modafferi, also successfully made weight at 126, and that makes their main card fight official. It's really starting to grow on me. Let's do a rundown.
Roxy was very excited that she's getting a fight that's not a rematch.
Yeah.
True. How many fights have been rematches lately, Jose?
She's had a lot over her career.
Yeah.
Couple of minutes.
Well, again, when you fought 43 times, that's right. Jose's right. Andrea Lee, of course, that was a rematch. So she's beaten her twice. Lauren Murphy, that wasn't a rematch, was it, Jose? I don't think so, right?
No,
that was the first one. Okay.
But it seems like whenever she says whenever I come off a loss, that my next fight, they always try to book me in a rematch.
She's fought. Look, around 125, 135, she's fought a who's who. All right. If you want to ask anyone in either of those weight classes, has Roxanne Modafferi fought them? Probably, yes. She's probably fought them. She has. She is absolutely a pioneer, and yet somehow also in the best, most successful stretch of her career so far. So a true original Roxanne Modafferi. There's not a lot like her in this business, and there should be. I wish there were more.
You said there's literally zero people like her.
There's
awesome.
one. There's one. It's her.
Oh, one is there, yeah.
So we'll do the rundown. We'll probably have someone, fingers crossed, coming up soon. We're under the 45-minute mark. I don't think there's any reason to be concerned for any of these names. We're only waiting for a handful, which includes our headliners, Michael Chiesa and Neil Magny. They'll both be trying to make welterweight. Have not had any issues with that in the past. Welterweight co-main event is official between Warlley Alves and Mounir Lazzez, both coming in at 171. Ike Villanueva came in at 206 for his light heavyweight bout with Vinicius Moreira. We are still waiting for Moreira. Roxanne Modafferi weighed in at 126, and her opponent, who we just saw, Viviane Araujo, he also came in at 126. Another flyweight bout before that, Tyson Nam, he came in at 126, as did his opponent, Schnell, 126. Oh, do we have?
Nope, we got movement.
Okay, we have movement.
Man of the hour.
Here we go. One half of our main event, Neil Magny.
Take the mask off on the pole.
171 for Magny.
171 for Neil Magny, who makes his 24th UFC appearance at welterweight, which makes him, I believe, tied for third most appearances with Josh Koscheck, behind Thiago Alves and Matt Brown, who just made appearance number 27 on Saturday. So if you guys feel like, man, Neil Magny's been around for a while, Neil Magny has been around for a while. 24 UFC appearances, 17 wins in those 23 previous appearances, which puts him just behind GSP for most victories as a UFC welterweight. GSP with 19. So if you ask me, will Neil Magny pass that number someday? I definitely think he will. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, it's easy to do that when you haven't fought for a championship, though. You can fight more frequently.
This is true.
Yeah, when you're kind of right on that kind of not in the top 5, you're not a former title challenger, but you're not out of the top 15. Those are the guys that kind of fight a lot. It's a weird area. Once you start winning too much, you disappear.
Let's not forget his 2015 campaign where he logged 5 appearances, which is a rarity for. I think he's one of only 2-3 people to ever do that in the UFC. Five fights in a year.
3,
so So Neil Magny.
How many main events has he been in before even fighting it?
So this is the second one.
So what was the first one?
Santiago.
And that wasn't short notice, right? That was
full.
original booked, right? That was originally booked that way.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I was in Argentina. Yeah.
Yeah. This.
He got and I have a feeling if they run that back 10 times, Magny wins most of it. Because if you remember that fight, Santiago, it was one of those fights where Santiago just it blew up his eye in the first minute, and then Magny basically fought with one eye the rest of the fight.
He just got popped up with a hot one right at the beginning, and just
right out of the gate.
Yeah. Yep.
That was Santiago's last win. That was his last fight because it's the Santiago knocked out Neil, and then Neil just tore through Lee Julian, and then Lee Julian just knocked out Santiago. Math.
I was gonna say this is actually I had to look this up, but it's definitely not off the top of my head. Magny also headlined the Ultimate Fighter Latin America 2 finale against Calvin.
That was last minute.
November. Right, November 2015, which of course I'm sure we all remember off the top of our heads.
I do.
Yes,
I vividly remember that because Diego Sanchez fought featherweight in that fight.
So this is his third UFC main event. But yeah, for a guy in 24 UFC appearances, yes, just 3 main events out of 24 UFC appearances. So
do you remember the original? Do you remember the original main event?
No.
That was Kelvin Matt Brown and Lamas Diego Sanchez was the co-main event, and a young spry Henry Cejudo fought for Amiga to a split, if I remember correctly.
Humble beginnings for Triple C.
That was the same exact day as Canelo. Man, who did he fight? Who's the Puerto Rican fighter, boxer?
Danny Garcia? No, he's not Puerto Rican. No.
I might have just been remember. It's gonna bother me.
We are just wait. Jose, keep thinking about that.
Miguel Cotto. That was the same day. as
Oh, Cotto,
Canelo. Yeah, Canelo dethroned him.
Al Mack asking, what time are the UFC 257 weigh-ins, boys? East Coast time. Well, what's West Coast time,
It's gonna
Casey?
be
I think
3 a.m.
West Coast.
West Coast, 3 a.m.
Right,
Pacific.
okay.
Yeah.
3 a.m. Pacific, 6 a.m. Eastern time. Everyone else, check your local listings. Oh, well, I mean, there won't be local listings for a YouTube weigh-in show, but you know what I mean. Just you can work from there.
Go look in your Go look in your TV guide.
6 a.m. ET, 3 a.m. PT on. So yes, early Friday morning. So thank you, Almac, for reminding us to tell everyone when that's happening. Because yes, it is not a normal weigh-in time by any means. And neither is this one. We're just waiting. I'm not going to give a full rundown. I just want to say we're just waiting on 3. Excuse me.
Wait, too much.
Sorry,
you had too much water. What's going on?
Too much water. I got to lay off the water. Sorry, Casey, can you throw the graphic again for 1 second?
You don't have name. You don't have everyone memorized yet. Come on.
Michael Chiesa, Omari Akhmado, and Jerome Rivera. And see, I would have forgotten Vinicius Moreira. So thank goodness you put the graphic back up. We just have 4 out of the 28 fighters. So we've had it's been a brisk weigh-in. We have only 4 out of the 28 left. Again, no one who in the past I believe I've seen have any weigh-in issues. Chiesa at lightweight maybe, but at 170 so far it's been a breeze for him. So no reason for concern, anyone. I would tell you if there was. I would tell you if anyone had a history of missing weight at their current weight class. I think we're okay. I think we have smooth sailing.
You
Casey, any comments jumping out at you from the YouTube section?
I'm getting comments about next week's
This Saturday.
the Saturday's card.
Understandable.
I'm trying to get it focused on guys. We have 28 fighters about to put it on the line. Everything on the line. So I want to focus on these little
That's
flyweights.
more than fair.
Yeah.
That's more than fair. Yeah, a lot of flyweights. Again, we got a Nurmagomedov cousin. We got a Figueiredo brother. Come on, people. There's a lot of intrigue here. We have the very. I'll bring this up now before he weighs in. I'm sure he'll come up soon. We have the very strange case of Vinicius Moreira. If anyone's watching and says that name sounds kind of familiar, it probably is because he's fought 3 times in the UFC. He's 0-3, and none of his fights he has not made it past the 4-minute mark in any of his fights, and yet he is getting another fight. So I don't know what it is about Vinicius Moreira, unless they're just looking for an exciting fight, because Villanueva also very often doesn't go to the scorecards. So maybe it's just let's put this light heavyweight fight on here and hope for some craziness. But I don't know.
It's a very odd placement in the card. It's just
people have been cut for less. Let me put it this way: Vinicius Moreira is hanging on there. We have had many fighters cut for less. Sahet S wants to know when is the face-off? I believe a top of the hour.
Yes, it should be top of the hour.
Yeah, whenever these weigh-ins.
I like Ike. Ike was one of my favorite interviews at Media Day.
Well, I'm not surprised Ike is getting another. I'm not. I mean, that doesn't surprise me that he's getting. He's also done them a favor. He's taken a few. He's taken, I think, maybe not both fights, but I think his first fight was short notice. Yeah, maybe Vinicius was too. Maybe did Vinicius favors well. Chris. Well, I mean, I can't answer this one. Casey, Chris DeRube wants to know: is it true that Inglewood is always up to no good?
Are we up to no good? No, I would say there's lots of good going on here. Inglewood is always up to, yes, good. Yeah. In fact, I went to the park the other day, and since the pandemic, quarantine, the basketball courts, the hoops are covered, so you can't play basketball on them. But instead, the neighborhood they were having a little socially distanced picnic out there. There's a barbecue pit. People were sitting around, and basketball court, everyone brought roller skates, and they were just roller skating around the basketball court. So that's what's going on in Inglewood.
That does sound like Inglewood is up to some good.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Ooh. I saw roller skating. That's cute. Of course, but I was that guy shadow boxing, and because
main event, Michael Chiesa.
ooh, Michael Chiesa. All right.
Sam Cecilia in town too.
I like the way he fights. I know he lost his Bellator fight in the tournament, but I enjoy him.
Former host of the A side, Michael Chiesa,
Yeah.
talked about swamp apes.
170.5 for Chiesa.
170.5 for Michael Chiesa, successfully making weight, as did his opponent, Neil Magny, who came in at 171. So yes, the UFC Fight Island 8 main event is now official.
Well, first we can go to make 155.
That felt good to say.
Man, that was good.
Jose, what did you catch that comment from Chiesa? Something about 155?
He said he would have had a lot of time to go to make 155.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. It's there was near the end there. It was shocking that he was still when he was still trying to make 155. Every time he would go up there, everyone was just like, "Why is he doing this? Like this just
Like, why?
He's so tall and long. Like it just didn't seem to make sense for him anymore. And now it looks great at 170.
Oh.
Jerome Rivera, yes. It's coming a little hot. It's coming a little hot, Casey.
Hey, man. It's Rivera.
Rivera dropping back down to his more natural weight class of 125 for this fight. It was a short notice replacement in his first previous outing, and had to much easier for him to make bantamweight. But now see if he can return to flyweight.
Feels tense.
Looks like he's just got out of the sauna.
What is the tattoo on his chest, Jose?
Albuquerque. That's,
Okay, so 1 second.
that's
Oh yeah, there you go. I just didn't see it.
Oh,
New Mexico. Yeah.
126 for Rivera.
126 for Jerome Rivera with the pretty cool looking Albuquerque flag or New Mexico flag seems to be popping out from under his chest. Look, that's pretty sweet. I'm not a big tattoo guy, but that's pretty cool. So yes, he has successfully made weight 126, as is his opponent, Francisco Figueiredo, who came in at 126. Figueiredo, the brother of Davison. And guys, you know what that means. That fight is now official. All right. So, unfortunately, we were only going to hear that music a couple more times. We were only waiting now on Vinicius Moreira, who is looking to make the light heavyweight limit, and Omari Akhmado, who's looking to make the middleweight limit. Both men, plenty of time to spare. We are still over the 30-minute mark to go. So, no big rush there, fellas. Take your time. If you're sleeping in, enjoying a nice breakfast, then, well, I guess that wouldn't make sense. But maybe they are enjoying a nice breakfast. Right? Maybe they're well under. I don't know. Probably not. Though. Probably. Handling their diets and their hydration very well until after, and then they can celebrate. But yeah, just 2 names left, guys. 26 for 26 so far. I don't believe in jinxes, so I have no problem saying it. We're a perfect 26 for 26 for the UFC Fight Island 8 card, which again will take place Wednesday morning on most North America times, 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Pacific. I believe it will be simulcast on ESPN and ESPN Plus. So whatever your method of watching is, the prelims will be on ESPN and ESPN Plus. The main card will be on ESPN Plus. 8 fight prelims, 6 fight main card, everyone. So,
and we're doing a pre-show. Remember, don't forget to hype up at the pre-show.
Are we doing a pre-show?
Oh yeah.
So you will. Okay. So we will.
This card isn't big enough to do a 30-minute pre-show.
I did not, sir. I did not say that.
That's what you implied, sir.
I just thought it's crazy that we will be starting our festivities at 5:30 in the morning Pacific time. 5:30 in the morning. So that's perfect. A lot of people may be getting up for work around that time. So, it could be perfect. The perfect time. We can be someone's morning listen as they prepare their professional day. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm very excited for that and for the early morning MMA. We'll be done with the by like the afternoon and some post-fight stuff, and then some Mike and I will do a post-fight matchmaking podcast. Guys, we'll have it every Sunday. Hashtag on to the next one. Chris Roubaix, can we get one more Duval? Of course we can. Of course we can, Chris. We can always one. We'll have plenty more. Anytime we're doing because Jacksonville is not just a place. Jacksonville is a state of mind, and I know for a fact that Jose Young carries a piece of Jacksonville in his heart with him at all times. Yeah. I think
We're talking Jacksonville.
we are. You never quite leave Jacksonville. I've never been, but oh no, I have been very briefly when I was in school. But it doesn't quite. Jacksonville takes a piece of you and gives you a piece of itself. So you never quite leave Jacksonville. What, Casey? Why this music for Jacksonville?
I don't know. It's the city of lovers,
Sure.
right? Jacksonville.
Yeah, right. When you reminisce about the escapades you had as a young man in Jacksonville, this is the music you would. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think of this one. This is Jacksonville music for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's other Jacksonville music that we can't play for licensing reasons.
Yeah.
But we'll just say again, you guys can open up your own YouTube.
Yeah. We
Or
love
Spotify.
Limp Bizkit here, but Fred
Love
Durst
it.
is very litigious.
He is, yes. If he hears a 10-second snippet of Nookie, we are in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
So we unfortunately we can't just listen to Limp Bizkit on your own time, as I know. Yeah, as I know you all do regularly anyway. What?
Don't listen to AK. He's a known pathological liar.
Oh, you know, when I listen to AK, he just makes me want to break stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
when I introduce myself to fighters and coaches, I make sure not to mention AK's name, or else I'll just walk away.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I think
Guys, we're live. We're just airing out all our dirty laundry here. Hope you know that. We are live.
I think you and some of these coaches need to have their opinions rearranged, as it were, and maybe then finally we could get. Yeah, maybe we could finally get these things rolling, because that's really how I live my life. I like to do things my way.
I believe in you. I do. I have faith. I have faith.
Thank you. I couldn't figure a way to win it.
We get it. You can name bad music.
It's good to laugh. It's good to laugh on whatever time it is, wherever you people are. Again, I'm in the middle of the night here on the East Coast.
Do you remember the old Fight Club game where Fred Durst was like an unlockable character?
He was Fred Durst. People, I don't know how the virtual stores work. If you guys can get like Al Max's Jacksonville's when you get there and think you're close to Miami, but you're really 10 hours away. Oh. Yes, if there's a way to, I don't know if these newfangled consoles, if there's a virtual store and you can purchase a copy of Fight Club, but yes, Fred Durst is an unlockable character in the Fight Club.
What do you think is the most random guest appearance from a video game by a celebrity ever? I know the answer. I know what the answer is.
The most random.
It's not Fred Durst apparently.
And it is UFC related.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have no idea.
You know, Casey?
No, I don't know.
Tito Ortiz was an unlockable character in the Razor Scooter video game in 2000.
The game is called Razor Scooter.
It's like Tony Hawk.
I know what it is.
And Tito Ortiz is the unlockable character for no reason.
Or for every
Tito
reason.
Ortiz, current mayor pro tem.
Casey, you can throw it up on the stream if you want, but I'm going to send it to you.
Yes, Tito Ortiz, former UFC champion, current mayor pro tem of Huntington Beach, California. And if anyone follows Bohachina Depot on Twitter, you can keep up with a lot of Tito Ortiz's adventures in not politics, as he likes to describe it. He is not a politician, despite the fact that he ran for a council position and is absolutely a politician now. So we'll see if we can get this out of the screenshot. We're looking for a screenshot of Tito in Razor. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. The shorts on point. The hair, yeah. I mean, at the time,
It's one of the biggest questions I have in MMA history is why this exists.
Well, I think this is great because the head does look like the proper size relationship to the body. Yeah, that's the shorts. Yeah, what's he wearing?
the head could be bigger.
Could be bigger. Yeah, it could be bigger.
It could be bigger. The face doesn't really.
Well, no, you can't tell because he's preparing. He's razor scootering right now on an invisible one, so it's the wind. Like
Sure,
That's
it's
what-
gonna
that's-
just the
razoring.
features. Yeah, the features is
Yeah.
gonna
You can tell. You can tell.
distort the features a little
It's
bit.
called
Sure.
physics, bro. Yeah.
So everyone, if you're a lover of vintage games, find yourself a copy of Razor Scooter, featuring. Was it someone? I mean, I assume this is like is there a famous Razor Scooter's name attached to the game? You know, there was I was Tony Hawk, then like Dave Mira BMX,
Tito Ortiz's pro Razor Scooter.
Tito Ortiz's Huntington Beach Razor Scooter.
The official name is Razor Scooter Freestyle. Or Razor
okay, so
Freestyle Scooter.
okay, so it doesn't have there is not a world famous. They couldn't pay that extra money for a world famous. Yeah.
For PlayStation and Dreamcast.
Oh, Dreamcast. That's a throwback. So yes, people, you can play as Tito Ortiz in this Razor Scooter game, or you can play as Fred Durst in a Fight Club video game.
You ever play that game? I mean, you have the Razor Scooter game. You have to rescue your captured friends, and Tito Ortiz is one of the captured friends, and you have to save him in order to unlock his character. Yep, you heard that right.
Okay, sure.
That's crazy because I did the same thing today.
Yeah, I heard he was in trouble, and that you.
Yeah,
You got him out, yeah.
that's like my story. Wow, that's wild.
Amazing.
That's right.
Way ahead of his
coincidence.
time.
Maybe it's coincidence.
Way ahead of his time. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. He's just getting into a lot of Razor Scooter related trouble. That's all. So it's like it's not this isn't. Yeah.
Dude,
No,
when they say Inglewood is up to no good, that's what they mean.
Okay.
See, AK, you're mistaken. He's not getting up to trouble with the Razor Scooter. He's in trouble because he didn't have a Razor Scooter.
Okay.
Come on.
That makes
Like, who
more
gets in
sense.
trouble? If you have a Razor Scooter, you can't get captured. Come on.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, true. Yeah. Again, and look at him in the picture. He doesn't have his Razor Scooter yet. If he did, he'd be scooting about like every which way.
Scooting about.
Scooting about. That's what the kids say. I'm trying to use the lingo the Razor Scooter kids use.
I stan Razor Scooters.
Wow. So hip. So with it. I just figured out the term down bad. I won't go into it, but I'm now obsessed with it.
Why are you saying these things?
Because we're just trying to show how hip we are.
Yeah.
We got a lot of young viewers, all right? They want to make sure that we're down with the coolest lingo, all right? And which we're working on. It's not, we're not
Austin lingo?
Yeah.
Guys, you gotta follow me on my TikTok.com account.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah,
TikTok.com. TikTok.com.
I love TikTok. I go to TikTok.com all the time.
I dance.
I'm pretty sure MMA Fighting has a TikTok account that we don't have access to.
There's no way, and we shouldn't have access.
Oh no, we're gonna pay big money for that account.
Yeah, like a fan made an account and then just like sat on it.
Well, I shouldn't have access to it because I don't even want to.
True story. I shouldn't say this on air, but it's Mark Raimondi. He
yeah.
Mark Raimondi got the account, and he's just
It's just him reenacting. It's just him reenacting wrestling moves.
Mark Raimondi. Somebody called you the new Mark Raimondi for MMA Fighting, AK.
That's not true.
I'm just saying.
I saw Al Mack in the comments say I was the Wolf Blitzer of MMA Fighting, which is an amazing comment, I think. So thank you, Al. Thank you, my boy Al Mack from the GTA.
Mark Raimondi does a lot of bicep workouts. So.
I do not. So probably, but I mean, if that's what's on that TikTok, I gotta check that out.
TikTok,
guys, leave a comment. Thank you.
Ask Tito why he was in that video game.
Well, Joey Work in our comments just said he'll be in Huntington Beach on Friday and he will let Tito know. So Joey Work, get back to us. Hit up Jose Youngs on Twitter or something and let him know why. Please, what's up? What was up with the Razor Scooter game?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna go to the council meeting and I'm gonna talk about street parking and why he was in the Razor Scooter game.
Where is Huntington Beach relative to Inglewood, Casey?
That way.
I mean, like distance-wise. Thank you. Distance-wise, I don't know anything about California, so I don't know. Is that close to you? Is that?
It's about 45 minute drive.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty close.
You could go to the realm of
yes.
COTs anytime you want. Okay.
Yeah, I could.
under normal circumstances.
I'm staying so far away from Huntington Beach.
Of course.
Unfortunately, my favorite dog beach is in Huntington Beach, so I have to figure something out.
Everyone.
Oh, movement.
Next up in the middleweight division, Omari Akhmado.
Omari Akhmado coming off a, fair to say, disappointing loss to Chris Weidman. It would have been a nice, not only would it have been a nice name for Akhmedov to have on his resume, former UFC champion. The fight itself was a bit of a grind to get through. It was not a super great performance by either man. MMA wagers. Can we talk about? It was, we say that around here. It was a fight. Can we talk about Bruce Buffer versus the Fly briefly? We will after Akhmedov weighs in here.
186 for Omari Akhmado.
186 for Omari Akhmedov. So we are now just so. Sorry, I was about to get ahead of myself there, Casey. Yes, Omari Akhmedov has successfully weighed in 186. His opponent, Tom Breeze, also successfully weighed in earlier at 186, meaning that their preliminary card closing middleweight bout is now official. Delightful. So now we are just waiting on. We are just waiting on Vinicius Moreira, and according to Jose, they are en route. So yes, and he has to make light heavyweight. Should not be an issue for Vinicius. And if he's on his way, that means again, I think clearly we are expected to make weight. So guys, we are about to go. I think I don't believe in jinxes, so I'm just going to say it. We are about to go 28 for 28 on weigh-ins, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. I mean, a lot of the cards we've had recently. I should say recently, probably the first time they went to Fight Island. If I recall, there was a spat of missed weights, but I think it was still people kind of getting used to, of course, just everything. We were still in the middle of this sort of chaos of the cards getting put together like last minute, and everyone getting used to COVID protocols. And I'm making excuses for people, yes, but if you want to know why we seem to have gotten better lately as far as people making weight, I think it's fair to say we're kind of getting used to the new normal.
There's always an excuse to make weight. I mean, that's why you didn't make weight. I mean, it's not excuses aren't bad, and you didn't make weight. They made weight before. They didn't make weight this time, so there's reasons for that. Excuses.
This is true. Exactly.
Excuses can be good,
Yes, we have just given people an explanation of what an explanation is. So there we go. This is the kind of content people come for. We're just defining words now at this point.
I love that part of the job.
Ma Voggers, I apologize for not pronouncing your name correctly last time. Sorry, I wasn't sure it was you. I thought I saw the comment again. Yes, Ma Voggers, from, of course, yes, thank you. Presumably of Germanic origin. Yes. No relation to NBA player Mo Wagner, I would assume, but it's very similar.
You told me you were not going to talk about Mo Wagner today.
Oh, sorry. We said you're right. I said I wouldn't. We said we were going to talk about the Fly and Bruce Buffer. Yes.
Are we talking about Mo Wagner, the NBA player?
I am. I just was. Yeah. I wanted to know he's related to Mo Vogers, who's in our comment section today. Jose, you said you were there for the first fight. So did you see the Bruce Buffer Fly commentary moment?
No, I didn't know what they were talking about until later.
Sure. Obviously, it was a little more apparent on the broadcast, right? He came up and he had a case. Did it interrupt him? I forget. He was in the middle of saying something, and it kind of interrupted him, right?
What did he say at the beginning? It wasn't the "it's time," but it was like the other catchphrase he does, like.
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
Like, hey guys, welcome to the octagon.
Yes, and there was both a verbal kind of hiccup and then a noticeable like a quick head shake. And a lot of people were joking about the Fly, who may have been the same Fly that harassed President-elect Joe Biden. We don't know.
No, Mike. Into that. No, it was Mike Pence. He didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was. I guess that's right. I got stuck in Mike's hair.
Yeah.
Not Joe Biden.
Once again, you Canadian always bringing up American politics. Stick to Sprots, bro. Stick to Sprots.
I live in Canada. I'm like Mike Pence, Joe Biden. I'm like same thing.
Same thing.
If you show me a picture of the two guys, I'd be like 50-50 chance I'm gonna get it. I'm a 50-50 chance.
The old guy. I don't know.
Yeah, the old white guy. Okay, I'm in Canada. I'm sorry. But the Fly thing was funny, and Dana White later in the evening kind of mentioned it as one of the things he was worried about. He thought the show was jinxed. He saw the Fly come out and distract Buffer. Who was it that lost their mouthpiece? Todorovic. Todorovic had his mouthpiece knocked out, and it got lost under the cage. So it was almost like this bizarre. Yeah, there was all these kind of weird little ticks that were happening on Saturday night, and he thought like, "Oh boy, our return to Fight Island's cursed." But the show worked out great, like we said, with a very memorable main event for their first ever show on ABC. Which again, it's funny how we've kind of already moved on from that. I guess we're just used to the UFC kind of being on big brand television now. So so for anyone who missed the fly, there you go. I'm sure the clip is preserved on social media for everyone to see.
It's on Dana's Twitter right now. I'm looking at it right now.
Dana White himself had a laugh about it.
Yeah, he shared it.
Yeah.
He is such a jokester. Dana White loves jokes. Yeah,
he's hilarious. He's a fun-loving guy.
I hear that's what the F stands for in UFC.
Oh, I thought his middle name. I think it said Dana F. White.
Yeah.
The F in Dana F. White stands for something very different. I'll tell you that right now.
Stands for fun.
It stands for fun. Sure. Thank you, everyone. By the way, we're a little under 15 minutes left now. Just waiting for Vinicius Moreira, who we have been told is on his way. So it's not a mystery where he is. He is just in transit. But thank you, everyone who's tuned in for as long as you have. We do have stare downs coming up. They'll start setting up for that as soon as the weigh-ins are done. So presumably at the top of the hour, it might obviously be a little bit of a delay. Casey, they should stick around on this stream, correct?
Yep. Stay right here.
Stay tuned to this channel, this YouTube channel, this particular. Well, I shouldn't say no. Stay tuned to this particular link. Do not click away. Stay tuned to this, and yes, you will see 14 face-offs, guys. 14 face-offs. You will not remember the first one by the time we get to the main event. That's how many face-offs there are. It's going to take at least a solid 20 minutes to face that. Hopefully, Markus Perez, Maluco, has had time to apply. Hopefully, he's applying his Joker makeup right now, and we do get an appearance from the Joker. In on Fight Island, but we don't know for sure. We don't know again. Maybe that's not under the safety measures that they're working under. But
who's your favorite Joker?
I love Heath Ledger. I love the Heath Ledger Joker. But Jose, you're a comic book guy. Go ahead.
There has never been a bad Joker. There has never been a bad Joker.
Really?
In any portrayal of the Clown Prince of Crime, there has never been a bad Joker. Mark Hamill to me is still the best Joker of all time.
Amazing.
Amazing. I think he's not, and I don't think he's ever going to be dethroned. He also does the Arkham games, which I've never played, but if he does the Joker, awesome.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Like even the TV shows, like what's going? God, it's gonna bother me. I was just talking about this.
Oh, what the original, like the Cesar Romero, yeah.
Cesar Romero and the Adam West Batman is perfect. Heath Ledger, perfect. Even
so you like the Jared Leto?
A lot of people don't like Jared Leto, but because people say, that's not the Joker. And my question to them is, well, what is the correct portrayal of the Joker? Because that Joker that we saw on the movies is exactly what the Joker that was being portrayed in the comic books at the time. Every single Joker that's been portrayed on camera or via animation has been a direct portrayal of what is happening in the world of comics at that specific time the movie's being made. But people are just comparing it to Heath Ledger, which is nonsense. And then I think Joaquin Phoenix, I did not like that movie at all. I thought it was terrible, but his portrayal was fantastic. Like I talked to Joe B about this a lot. He got the mannerisms down and the laugh perfectly. Even the Batman, that cartoon show in like the mid 2000s where they sold a lot of toys, they made Joker kind of like a what do you call it? Like Jamaican style. Like he had green dreads.
Oh yeah, he looks so different.
He was very apish. That was an awesome Joker. Or the I can't remember his name off the top of my head now, but they did an animated show called Under the Hood. Where they had a new animated voice for the Joker that after Mark Hamill started to scale back. 10 out of 10 portrayal of the Joker too. There has never been a bad portrayal of the Joker in any aspect in Batman's TV or film ever.
I will agree with that. Again, I actually didn't watch Suicide Squad yet, so I can't comment on the Leto Joker. I know a lot of people don't like it. I also did not enjoy the Joker film, but yes, Joaquin Phoenix is brilliant. I think he made the most of a very poor script. But again, he's such an amazing actor, you wouldn't even notice. Yeah, it's definitely made it. It's a movie I would still tell people to watch just because his performance is so strong.
There are a lot of holes in the story. I don't like.
I don't like.
I don't think it's not spoilers because the movie came out so long ago. But like, we don't have to get into it. But like, I did not like the ending.
Too late.
I did not like it.
But the Heath Ledger Joker, you definitely can't. If you say Heath Ledger, we didn't mention Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson, of course, is wonderful. It was huge. Yeah. And for a while, it was like the most popular.
How they made him Jack. I didn't like how they made him Jack Napier, the one that killed Batman's parents. I thought that was a little stupid, but other than that, his actual portrayal was really good.
Sure. But yeah, I was just watching The Dark Knight again the other day, actually, and like Heath Ledger's performance is just crazy. It's like Heath Ledger's a great actor, but man, every time you watch something, I still like I have to remind myself it's him. He's so immersed in that role. It's really something else. So yeah, you really can't go wrong. It's a great character. So why did we start talking about this?
Because there's a fighter on this card that always dresses up as the Joker. Jeez.
Look, we're almost 2 hours into this way.
Why are we talking about the Joker again?
This is why you're in the truck, all right? You got to control this. You're right. Thank you. See, this is why I said Casey, the best in the business. Casey Lyon, the best in the business in the production truck. He's keeping it together.
If he did the Jared Leto Joker, I think that'd be funny. Coming out
with his hair hits the Ledger Joker better though, right? He's got the hair for it, right? So he's got to go. But yeah,
DC just had a comic book called Three Jokers, which basically has been in the works for like 3 or 4 years, and my God, was it disappointing. I can't remember a time I've been that disappointed by a comic book.
Speaking of comics, I think we have our last person coming in soon. Michael Fedahunsi. I don't know if that's a play on words. Yeah, Suicide Squad was a joke of a movie.
It was a terrible movie, but Heath Ledger was not Heath Ledger. Jared Leto was not what was wrong with that movie.
In the light heavyweight division,
here we go. And I'll tell Bill, by the way, watch WandaVision. There you go.
That's I want to see that.
I don't want to spoil anything. Watch that show. It's a little slow, so it's a little weird, but I really enjoyed it.
Ooh.
So far.
Have you seen the sound? What's it called? Sounds of Metal.
No, I want to.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later.
Vinicius Moreira.
He brought his own towel. This is exciting. Oh, he's a lot skinnier. This guy used to be bigger. He used to be heavyweight, right?
No, he's fought at light heavyweight.
Oh, okay.
I think he fought at middleweight before, if I'm not mistaken.
No, never mind. No.
It could be more lean. I don't know.
What's going on?
I think that.
My mistake. He has been at light heavyweight this whole time, so he's probably just looking more lean. Casey, and look again. Like I said, this is clearly a must-win for him. 0-3 in the UFC so far. No fights lasting longer than 4 minutes, so he needs to be in the best shape. Put on his best foot forward, and let's see if he makes the weight first.
Also have a little bit of USADA this week.
206 for Moreira.
206 for Moreira. So the first part is done. He has made weight. He looks very happy to have made entry, putting his shorts back on. So Villanueva and Moreira, both at 206. Oh, they want to come back up and pose. But yes, Ike Villanueva versus Vinicius Moreira is now official. Went really well with his going up to the scale.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
I didn't even play the music. That was just that was him. That was
from the scale when he's onto it. That was weird. So people, the official weigh-ins are complete. I'll say, please stick around. We will have stare downs very short. We can see how much time there's left to weigh in. I imagine they're going to take their time clearing the stage. It could be guys 5, 10, 15 minutes, but stay tuned to this stream for the stare downs. Okay, they will be coming up soon. But yes, let us do our last rundown of how this went. We were 28 for 28 successful weigh-ins. At the very top are welterweight.
They saw us at 11. That's all I said.
Okay. So at the top are welterweight headliners Michael Chiesa and Neil Magny, both successfully made weight. Chiesa at 170.5, Magny at 171. And then the co-main event, we also had welterweights Warlley Alves and Mounir Lazzez, both coming in 171. Ike Villanueva and Vinicius Moreira, who we just saw, coming in at 206, both of them for their light heavyweight bout on the main card. And Roxanne, and then we had a bunch of flyweights. Roxanne Modafferi at 126. She faces Viviane Araujo at 126. Tyson Nam at 126. He fights Matt Schnell, who also came in at 126. And then the main card opener, Lerone Murphy came in at 146. He faces Douglas Silva de Andrade, who came in at 145 pounds. 8-fight preliminary card. Closing it out will be middleweights Omari Akhmado, 186, and Tom Breeze, also 186. Ricky Simone faces Tano Perello in a bantamweight bout. Both men came in at 136 pounds. More flyweights in action. Mudaerji facing Zaruk Adashev. Both came in 126 pounds. And then we had another middleweight bout. Dalcha Lungiambula, he came in at 186 for his fight with Markus Perez at 186. Jerome Rivera came in at 126 for his fight with the brother of flyweight champion Davison Figueiredo. This is Francisco Figueiredo, came in at 126. Lightweights Mike Davis and Mason Jones both made weight. Mike Davis 154.5, Mason Jones 156. Umar Nurmagomedov at 136. He faces former M1 bantamweight champion Sergey Morozov at 135. And then opening this entire 14-fight card, Victoria Leonardo coming in 125.5 for her fight with Manon Fiorot at 126. Woo! So thank you everyone for sticking around, and please stick around for longer. I don't even know if we're going to bother to take a break, Casey.
You get to the bathroom. You drink a lot of water.
I'm okay. I may have to type something up in a second. So I don't know if you want to. I mean, you can leave me on camera, but my face will be intently. My eyes will be darting back and forth as I type out some.
It's kind of creepy. Just I feel like I'm just staring at a guy typing. It's just weird.
Yeah, go for it.
All right,
go for it.
Let me just zoom in on you. All right, now I get to play some music. Do 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 do. Oh. Alex Savas saying AK rules. This must be a typo. Hold on.
Thank you, cool Alex. Thank you, cool Alex. Much appreciated.
What happened? You didn't read the comment? No, nothing. All right.
Yeah, I said thank you, cool Alex. Oh, what the? What? I thought it. Wait a minute.
Hey man, I can't control what the people at home.
That's not a real comment.
Hold on. Oh no, I can't. I don't know why it's bigger now. This is weird.
How did you? I don't see that comment. What is this?
I can't stop it. It's just YouTube's malfunctioning.
No, everyone, look at the actual. Listen, look at the actual comments. That is not a real comment. This is fake. Cool Alex is cool. Alex is cool for a reason because she doesn't do stuff like this. All right.
The people have spoken. Sorry, bro.
Has anyone called AK a jabroni yet?
Good times. All right, here we go. So, we'll take a little 90-second break, and yeah, we'll be back in a little bit.
This is where I would normally get coffee, but I've already had 5 cups.
Oh, sorry, the music stopped. My fault. So we are just waiting for the stare downs to begin. Should be starting anytime. Anytime, UFC. Oh.
My God.
I know, it's a good song. We are still waiting for the stare down to begin anytime. This is the best part of the job. It really is. Waiting for people to stare at each other for a couple of seconds while we take photos. I'm really just staring at AK the whole time.
While you stare at AK, are you just saying like, God, imagine if I was that much of a jabroni?
Oh, that's gotta sting. That's gotta sting, AK. Yeah, you're
Cool,
me.
Alex thinks I'm cool. So that's all that matters to me. I don't care about you guys.
That's not what I saw the comments say. So where's this WandaVision? Where's that on?
Disney Plus. I will say so it's really hard to get into it without like giving away too much.
Yeah, don't give too much away.
Like, in general, I've never seen the show. I've never seen. I'm not gonna watch the show. But Scarlet Witch is probably the catalyst of the last 20-25 years of big comic book stories. All really started with Avengers Disassembled, which is like Scarlet Witch is like the crux of it. Same with House of M, same with a lot of stuff. So Scarlet Witch is such an integral character to the Marvel comic books right now. It's just of the last 25-30 years. And the comic book visions, like multiple visions by Tom King, is one of the best Marvel comic books I've read in the last 10 years. Also, his issues of Mr. Miracle is probably top 10 superhero comic books I've ever read.
Thank you for the comment. Alex Savas.
Savas.
Alex Savas.
Like the Mortal Kombat character. Like the Street Fighter character.
Gotcha. Very exotic sounding name.
I don't like this abuse of technology. I don't like this abuse of the programs that we use to run our show. I don't appreciate you misrepresenting Miss Alex Savas. All right, the divine Alex Savas. How dare you try and misrepresent her?
Is that the real Alex?
AK, Are you the real Alex?
Am I the real Alex? I'm as real as it gets. Don't you worry about that.
It's our song, baby. This could be you, AK. This could be you.
Are you giving him the Heimlich?
No, I would. If he was dying right now, if he was choking on a fishbone, I would give him the Heimlich. I care that much. This is more than just a job. This is more than a job. This is.
AK, you seem like the kind of guy who would get really excited over some marzipan that you chose on it from eating it too fast.
Yeah, I definitely would. Yeah, 100%. I get excited about a lot of things. By the way, if I don't respond to something you guys are saying, it's not because I'm ignoring.
It's because you're very. You drool. It's because you drool. Because apparently, I saw some comments that said you drool.
Listen, I am working on something here.
A bag of marzipan.
I am working on something here. I am ignoring you, but that's not why I'm I am actually ignoring you, but that's not why I'm not responding. I am actually working on something as well.
Where'd it go? Oh, all these comments flying in. You go, Mr. Bunga. Or Mrs. Bunga.
That's the guy who did. Do you know what that thumbnail, that his avatar is from?
That's a Snoopy movie, right?
Goofy movie.
Snoopy, sorry, Goofy. Why am I wearing gloves?
That's the Leaning Tower of Chiesa guy.
I'm done.
You're done.
You guys have my full attention.
Oh, I thought you meant. Goofy movie.
There you go. He did the leading tower at Chiesa.
Okay, I gotta say about this whole Goofy movie. Until I met Cynthia, I had never heard of it.
Cynthia?
Yeah,
Yeah, me and the first time I met Cynthia, we bonded over it.
Dude,
To
that's
this
all.
day, whenever we see each other, that's all we talk. Because Live Wire was the Live Wire. That movie was the best.
That's all she talks about. She talks about the Goofy movie and Major Pain.
That's a good
Major
movie.
Pain's a great movie.
That's a good movie. That's some cinema right there. That's cinema.
That is cinema. Yes.
Do you remember do you know the pop singer in the Goofy movie?
I don't know.
Do you remember?
Maya?
No, it's Powerline.
Was-
Fool.
Huh?
It's Powerline from the
What?
Goofy movie. Powerline.
Who? That's the name of the character?
You're so old.
What?
Yeah, dog. Powerline was the singer. Was the musician
Powerline-
in the Goofy movie.
The name of the
He
character.
did, he did the dance.
Okay.
He's saying eye to eye. Don't you remember?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not mentioning that price is coming in. Yeah, there you go,
Can
Casey.
you clip this part and send it to Cynthia so we can shame AK?
Yeah. Once I get my vaccine, I'm coming to Toronto. I'm gonna shank you. Is that what you said, shank?
Sure, we can go with that.
Okay.
See, Aaron Miller in the YouTube comment section. Powerline got some bangers. Sure does, man. Are we just talking about movies now?
Yeah. I don't.
Tell people, someone's bringing up Forrest Gump and Cool Runnings in the YouTube comments.
Hey, this guy snuck. This avatar is not for kids. He snuck it in. You know what show I've been watching? I'm almost done with Schitt's Creek. You watch that, AK?
Starring the mom from Home
I
Alone.
have people tell me to watch it. I definitely have to watch it. It's all on Netflix, so I probably will binge it at some point.
It is excellent. It took me a while to get into, but once you kind of get into that world, it's very good. I enjoy it. It's
Really fun. I was amazed. I didn't become so big in the U.S. I was like, I knew it was up in Canada. But.
Sorry, what was I?
Stand by. Data's here.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
I had run out of movies to talk about.
Let's get this one started. First up in the women's flyweight division.
Wrong one.
Victoria,
Damn it.
Fury, Leonardo, and Manon the Beast Fiorot.
1 second.
Victoria, Leonardo, and Manon Fiorot.
Hold on. Gotta
Jay
switch.
Thomas isn't drinking enough water. I gotta settle back on water. Two fighters making their UFC debuts here. Leonardo, probably familiar to some at least from her Invicta fights, which of course are all available on UFC Fight Pass.
Next up, a bantamweight bout between Umar Nurmagomedov and Sergey Morozov.
Umar Nurmagomedov and Sergey Morozov. For anyone just tuning in, yes, Umar is the cousin of Khabib.
Jose, can you zoom out when they face forward? Cool, thank you.
We follow up in the lightweight division between Mike Beast Boy Davis and Mason Dragon Jones.
This is one of Jose's sleeper picks of the night. We've got Mike Davis against the debuting Mason Jones. He is a 2-division Cage Warriors champion. And there's that big back piece that Jose was talking about before.
We follow with flyweights, Francisco Spider Figueiredo against Jerome Renegade Rivera.
Francisco Figueiredo versus Jerome Rivera. They're facing off now. Figueiredo, yes, the younger brother of UFC flyweight champion Davison Figueiredo. Someone asked what country Mason Jones is from. Mason Jones is from Wales.
I appreciate the
Next
multiple
up in
poses
the
for the
middleweight
face-off.
division,
That was nice.
Dalcha champion Lungiambula against Markus Perez.
Dalcha Lungiambula. I was nailing it all day and I messed it up. Versus Markus Maluco Perez. Oh no, do we see no
Ooh.
Joker makeup for Maluco? The intensity is still there, though. He might not be wearing the makeup. Boy, that is a stare from both men.
Ooh.
Flyweight bout next. It's the Tibetan Eagle Mudaerji against Zaruk the Lion Adashev.
Mudaerji versus Zaruk Adashev. One of several flyweight encounters we have on Wednesday's card.
Such huge difference in height.
Next up, it's bantamweights Ricky Simone and Gaetano El Tigre Perello.
Ricky Simone and Gaetano Perello.
Gentlemen,
And our
face
featured
forward.
prelim in the middleweight division, Omari Akhmado, Tom Breeze.
Featured prelim middleweights Omari Akhmado and Tom Breeze. This bout has some rankings implications. Breeze just towering over Dana White. My goodness, not even we can't even get him in these huge middleweights.
What a shorty.
We got big guys here. Very cordial.
And opening the ESPN main card in the featherweight division, Lerone the Miracle Murphy against Douglas Silva the Andrade.
Lerone Murphy and Douglas Silva de Andrade. This could be a big statement performance for Murphy, who picked up a nice win over Ricardo Ramos last time, and Andrade would be, arguably bigger. Andrade again has only lost to 3 people in his career, and Andrade himself looking to come back and kind of reestablish his hype. Both guys in incredible shape.
That guy has like 60 abs.
Between Danger Schnell and Tyson now.
That's too many abs.
Too many abs.
We have more flyweight after this. Our last men's flyweight bout is Matt Schnell and Tyson Nam, veteran Tyson Nam. Tyson coming off back-to-back wins at 135, still looking for his first UFC flyweight victory, and he is not interested in knuckling up.
Next to the stage in the women's flyweights division, Roxanne the Happy Warrior Modafferi and Viviane Vivi Araujo.
Tough matchup for the Happy Warrior, Roxanne Modafferi. She takes on the up-and-coming, very talented Viviane Araujo.
We got something special? No, just so. Gotta face forward fighters.
Next
These
up in the
ladies
light
know how to
heavyweight
do it.
division, fight Hurricane Villanueva against Vinicius Moreira.
Victor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pros.
Pros.
Now we have Villanueva and Vinicius Moreira at a light heavyweight. Both men seeking UFC victory here. This is big for both of them. And it's going to really define how the rest of their year goes.
Oh, no look fist bump. You love to see it.
And co-main event next in the welterweight division,
Like Max
Warlley
Holloway.
Alves against Mounir, the sniper Lazzez.
Mounir Lazzez and Warlley Alves getting the co-main event spot. Warlley, of course, been around for a while, but his first fight in some time. He's looking to reinvent himself. Mounir Lazzez coming off a big UFC debut. Very, very, I think, well-liked by officials and standout for Brave Combat Federation and UAE Warriors. So this is a nice spotlight for him in Abu Dhabi.
Ooh, and Warlley sneaking in a weapon. A slingshot.
Yeah. That can't be regulation.
Yeah. If he finds like a pebble or a small rock on
And
the ground,
finally,
watch
the main
out.
event, 5 rounds in the welterweight division, Michael Maverick Chiesa against Neil Magny.
2 welterweights on 3 fight winning streaks here. Michael Chiesa and Neil Magny closing out the show. Chiesa undefeated at welterweight so far in 3 appearances. Magny, of course, a veteran at welterweight from the most, almost the third most appearances in UFC history.
Magny's fighting off a smile. Yeah, I could tell. he was trying to fake
He could
being
only
mean.
fight it for so long. Casey, he could only fight it for so long. We're all in a good mood here. And wherever you guys are watching from, I hope you're in a good mood as well. That
Thank you
is
very
it
much.
for
All goes down tomorrow. Kicks off on ESPN and ESPN Plus from 9 a.m. Eastern.
John Gooden just reminding everyone, 9 a.m. Eastern time, people, Wednesday morning. That is when you can find the prelims of UFC Fight Island 8 starting. Main card scheduled for noon p.m. Anything else we're waiting for, boys? Is that all of the Tuesday morning festivities?
I am pretty confident we are done.
Very good. If there is anything else, of course, guys. Sorry, Jose.
We
Go
still
ahead.
got Wayne on media day, but that's about it.
Right, guys, we got Media Day coming in later today. Stay tuned to MMAfighting.com. Stay tuned to our Twitter. We're shooting out live updates for all of these things that are happening. We got a lot of interviews coming up, a lot more chatter coming this week from the fighters of UFC 257. Of course, it's coming on Saturday. But yes, we have UFC Fight Island 8 on Wednesday. Thank you guys for joining us for the weigh-ins. Jose Youngs is on site in Abu Dhabi. We have Casey Leiden in Inglewood in the truck controlling the show, and I am Alexander K. Lee in the greater Toronto area somewhere. Thank you.
Killed it. You nailed that close. You nailed that close. Yeah.
And Katie, this whole card is now official. I should have just let the other music play. Anyway, thanks everyone. See you later.